Market downside here to kick things off this morning, coming on the back of this ADP employment change number out at 8:15. Basically half of what was expected there, 37,000 versus 70,000 was the expectation. That, of course, comes ahead of not only the weekly number that we'll get tomorrow, but then non-farm payrolls coming out on Friday, going to be the big one on the economic side of things. Now, if you rewind the clock, going back as far as you want in the past, these two numbers are typically never correlated. So if an ADP number comes out much worse than expected, we've seen in certain cases the non-farm number actually higher or better than expected. So try not to look too far into this, but again, that's not good. 37,000 again versus 70,000 expected there this morning for ADP employment change out at 8:15. Overall, that's Tesla. We'll get to that in a sec. Overall, that caused quite the spike down there for the overall market. Just keep in mind, coming up at 9:45, just after the open, S&P Global Composite PMI. We'll get the services number at the same time as well. That's a final reading. Those can move the market if they do come out one way or the other outside of what's expected. And then at 10, the ISM version of the same coming through as well. So a ton of Fed speak to come this morning. Trump's already on Truth Social bashing Fed Chair Powell because of this number this morning. Again, ADP, if you missed it, downside in a pretty big way ahead of more jobs data to come this week. And
he was up even earlier. I was mentioning to you at 2 a.m. He took to Truth Social to basically talk about discussions with President Xi, saying he likes him and that he's a tough negotiator. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about today, guys. CrowdStrike down big, 7.5% off that earnings. Let's call it a miss. I think it's not a bad look. Just costs really went up there, Brendo. Apple getting a rare downgrade today from Needham. Tesla, even though they're up, China sales down again. That's 8 straight months. And apparently Truth Social is going to launch a Bitcoin, specifically Bitcoin ETF here, Brendo. They want to get a lot of that 150 billion now. That's assets under management for these spot ETFs. Wells Fargo also getting the cap removed there so they can keep growing. So good luck for everything.
Yeah, decent look for Wells WFC here this morning. It is on the way back down already, though, here in the pre-market. Like you were mentioning, Tesla green. Don't hold your breath because it's probably going to go red here any second, 0.1% only. But yeah, we were up nicely despite those pretty ugly China numbers once again. So we'll see what happens with Tesla coming up this morning. A ton of other things to consider. Heading towards what is going to be, I think, a really important day coming up on Friday with this NFP number for the overall market. As we've been saying most of the week, earnings are past. All the major events are past. As far as the Fed is concerned, this is like the next checkpoint as far as economic issues are concerned. And with the state of things currently, again, if this number comes out on Friday, much worse than expected, that could put the market under pressure in a pretty big way here. So ADP, the first one, and then we'll get, we got jolts yesterday, but didn't really do much. ADP, the first one here, and then non-farm payrolls coming up Friday at this time. Make sure you're with us for that, guys. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
And yeah, we get the truth this morning.
Is it the truth? We got a truth.
We got a
posted truth.
And you know what? I was
Powell out of there, man.
But I was bugged for myself. Like, we saw the futures going down, and the first reaction, it's like, we just had ADP. Was there just a truth? Because it was a little bit of a delayed move on that ADP, and it was really when that truth came out. And I think sometimes that should be like the first place. Did anything get said? Now, there has been a decent, not a huge bounce in the market, but a little bit of bid came in. It's some afternoon support. So you're starting to line up like what's looking relatively strong, relatively weak based off of this. I mean, I was just looking over at like Robinhood's up 1.5%, and it's at the highs, whereas Tesla's back into flat, and that's heading lower. You saw what happened with that yesterday in the afternoon. Like, Tesla really took it on the chin after Elon had some stuff to say about that bill. So not looking good overall for them. The question is, are we actually going to be able to bounce off of these lows? Because you got some high-flying stocks that haven't really put in some crazy down days. And obviously, Coreweave stands out. But I'm looking squarely at Micron, which is that program buying 2 days in a row. It's the kind of stock, if I don't see that same program set up after the initial couple of candles, I think that one's going to turn into a nice reversal play. But the base case is that the buyers have been coming into that stock, so I want to respect it. Let's see what happens, man. Like, it's going to be a very, very interesting day because I have a funny suspicion that maybe we haven't heard the last on True Social. That's just a guess.
Yeah, interesting move down there and then battling back right now. So we'll see what winds up happening. I mean, I'm looking at Nvidia here. I put in the chat there, what are we going to trade today? And everyone's like, just trade the usual things like Nvidia, Tesla. I mean, we've been pretty hot on those. So I think that is the right way to go. Apple today, we've been looking short here today as they get downgraded. And we talk about coming ahead of WWDC, which the stock reacted quite well to last year. But that's not till Monday, so let's see what happens here. Yesterday, we bounced off this 201 area. We'll see if we can get somewhere in there again. But yeah, Darren and I last night had a great. I always think the market recap shows are great, so I think everybody should watch those. I mean, that is what it is. Neil, what's your favorite day of the week?
It's not Wednesday. It's always, to me, it's like usually, like I'm
Definitely not Wednesday for me.
Wednesday to me is like it's that.
I don't mind Wednesday.
It's like the worst day. No, if it's a day of the week, no questions asked. Saturday mornings, I spend so much time. I get so much like free time with my daughter. We have activities, so there's no question. Like I love the markets, but I love my family more. So like I can't. I got to keep the truth with that one. Saturday mornings is like it's like me and Aaron time, whether it's an activity or we're just doing stuff in the morning. Get out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I read you like a book there. I said Darren and I were both Thursdays, and I said Neil will for sure be Saturday, so that's a good one there. I guess I know you pretty well. How about yourself? Saturday. Favorite day of the week? Yeah. Saturdays are a good day. I like Thursday, looking forward to the weekend. It's like a positive look forward. You know, it's like I get to see like what am I doing, and when Saturday's here, it's here. I love Saturday. I mean, I love all the days. I think any day that ends in Y is a good day. I mean, I can't.
Any day we're here, man.
I honestly.
Any day we're blessed to be here.
I'm forced. I feel forced to take vacations. Honestly, I love taking them, but it's like I love being here too. So it goes back and forth. But okay, so that was good. So we got that one too. Yeah, and yesterday, right before earnings, man, right before it came out, I was like, CrowdStrike's probably gonna miss. We talked about that. Not miss. I didn't predict the numbers, but just how far up they had gone. And it was such a huge move, and they had the nice reaction to Zscaler that it just felt like we were way away from the 200 period. There's the 50 period as well. Nice move to the upside and then coming right back in. So yeah, that's a good move there for CrowdStrike, down 8% today. I think, and I said this yesterday again on the recap show, that this was probably a great level to start picking something up if you haven't already. So we'll wait to see. I always like to think 3-day rule, but CrowdStrike right here at 450 to me is super interesting. So we'll watch out for that. I would assume Zscaler is coming back in. We actually just talked about this. Who do we have? It was Michael Noss on Monday, and he loved the space. So maybe an opportunity to get some money back into it there. So Zscaler down a little bit there, and Pawn and PanW right there. How come there's not a symbol pawn? That would be a good one. Is any chess companies going to be going public soon? But there we go. PanW right now down 1.23%. So the place to look here, if you want to get them all, is the hack ETF. Today it might look like it was hacked because actually, that doesn't make any sense. This should be down. So we'll find out why CrowdStrike is not affecting this more than it was, because this was the ETF that Michael had talked about with one of the more popular ones for cybersecurity. So yeah, not a great number there for CrowdStrike. We're going to talk about it. It's all over this, the watch list. Make sure you go grab that. That's the eSignal QR code, but link in description for the best watch list. There's tons of names in there. There's a lot of even kind of low floaty kind of names today I noticed that we have in there. Going through, we have, obviously Quantum, BAOS. What's up with that? Right now. Oh, another Chinese name. I see what's happening here. China. The stock market has market cap of 8 million and a float of just under 1 million shares. And then there's, if you're a betting man, you might like this company, Sharps, because you want to be on the sharp side of the bet. Right here, this is not a gaming company, but STSS also tried to make some moves today, down to 550 right now. Nice move higher. Obviously a reverse split, only going to be going one way. This to me is a short then after I see that. And then, the usual suspects today. We talked about Quantum and things like that. We'll be going, whoopsies. That's the warrant, I guess. QBTS right here. $18 again was the high. We'll see if it can reach that. There it was yesterday. There. Yeah, exactly. There's that offering after hours, so we'll have to wait to see. And even when that offering hit, Adair, her and I were watching it, and I said that's probably a buy down there. So it looks like it might hold that level. Rigetti's back up from their offering as well. So yeah, lots of stuff happening. It's 8:39. The market's trying to battle back.
Yeah, it's trying to figure this out. Well, the other thing
I'm thinking short
for hack. the biggest holding in Hack is Broadcom, and Broadcom's up today. So, yeah. So that's like that'll do it.
It has to be a better ETF then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because like it's 10% of that is Broadcom.
Right.
Which, look, I'm not going to tell you that it's not cybersecurity related, but I think if you're looking for exposure to like those names, I'm sure there's a better ETF out there to follow them. But
Randy with the liquid cocaine.
I like it, my friend.
All right, thank you, Randy.
Oh yeah.
And like by the way, driving this Tesla around is just, it's something else. I thought like it's perfect for this commute, like in and out of these, like just making those moves and just getting in and out of those lanes and traffic and.
Sweet drive.
It's such a sweet. It's so sweet. It's literally a go-kart. It's like you just push. It's not even a Model S or anything like that. It's just a simple base model. So, all right, let's go. CTRL. That's another name. Okay, well, I don't know. There's lots of names to look at here, guys.
There's a bunch. There's this penny stock moving around as well. Where is it? CLRBs flying around here.
So many.
These guys, like, I don't know, like FDA yada yada breakthrough is one of these ones. And so like these small cappers, there's a million out there. I know Sharif will have a fun day just trying to check out what the float on this one. Where do I see the float? Come on, load it up there. 46 million float and only 5% short, but it's already done 56. Like it's turning it over already more than once here. So even penny stocks going on. Watching this one hold on to VWAP. I'm going to put this one on the side burner there. Oh, Coreweave too hit over $160 early this morning. It was up over 7% again. This stock is
stupid. That's a ridiculous.
It's just gotten ridiculous. The price of locates for shorts has gone up as well. I think it doubled from yesterday to today. So now you're starting to see that ramp up. There's going to be a moment on this stock, but for now it's just ridiculously strong. So yeah, not everything pulled back that hard in this little market dip after the ADP. Let's go back over the desk.
All right, a couple other things moving around here. HPE was just noting with a bit of a move there. I was looking at Reddit here, downside as well, but HPE coming off their report after the close last night, back downside right now. Still up nicely on the morning, beating estimates. Again, AI server business coming through pretty big here for HPE. Not a lot of volume behind this move, however, so far this morning.
Not yet, but a nice move up.
Yeah.
Like last time I looked, it was like 7% and change. Not bad. Q2 revenue earnings beat 7.63 billion, beating the 7.45 expected by the street. 38 cents earnings per share, beating the 32 the street wanted there. Strong Gen AI demand, really one of the reasons here. Also, AI optimized server sales. Server revenue grew about 5.7% year over year. That's about $4 billion now that's accounting for that. Now, with respect to tariffs, they said basically no meaningful impact from tariff-related pull forward demand. So if you're thinking they had a good quarter because of the pull forward, they're saying it wasn't as such. Also, a large impairment charge, Brendo, tied to long-term assumptions, and they guided quite well as well, 7 to 9%. They did guide down a little bit here for full year 2025. It was 7 to 11 before. They've dropped that down to 7 to 9, but the Q3 guidance ahead of expectations.
So a few of these names that are up here this morning with positive news coming back in. WFC, another one on the back of this move down in the overall market. There was also a couple of interesting outages yesterday, tech-related outages. Roblox was one of those. Downside right here, right now. It's had a pretty good couple of days, though, still to the upside, but might give some of that back. It was 100,000 users late yesterday evening losing service for quite some time for Roblox. Reddit was the other one. There was an outage on Reddit affecting only about 30,000 users, though.
I mean, I've been using Reddit a lot more, and especially if I want to get non-official information, what I'll tell the LLM is search Reddit forums and give me that non-official.
Right.
I've been noticing a lot lately, anyway, with ChatGPT, that it gives, if you're asking something a little bit more controversial, it'll give you the official statement of what is being reported in popular media. But if you want that more, speculative look, I give it specific instructions to search on Reddit. So I've been using it a lot more, not directly. Seems to be quite helpful.
And the other way you can go about doing that, I found, is actually providing it with a source. So if you go to a website and there's a lot of information there, you just say, use this link.
Exactly.
Tell me what the deal is with the information on that website. Both of these guys red now, but basically flat on the morning.
I mean, Reddit's trying to consolidate here, at least particularly the last couple of days, right at that 50-period moving average. So the good sign is it's holding out above the outage. Like that's I don't think it didn't really move that much yesterday. I get it. It didn't really have a great day. There was a lot of selling in the back half, but it wasn't anything sort of out of the ordinary. It ended up with an inside day, so I wouldn't be too concerned from that regard. The thing with Reddit is it's been a dog, and it just hasn't had there's just no oomph in the stock. Like you've had a couple of spike days that have been met by heavy selling. Like each time that it's had a strong up day, the next day it's given back the entirety of the move. So until this starts putting back in like multiple day bounces, like, break out 115 and then take out that 200 period right after, it's in the penalty box, at least for me. And I'm more excited for Discord when they come ideally at some point this year. I mean, we're now halfway through the year and the Discord decided that they're still not really going to give us that IPO and we want to see it. I'll be much more excited for that than Reddit. I don't use Reddit as much as I used to. I do use it, but I feel like I used to use it a heck of a lot more than I do now. So I guess I'm in the other camp.
I've never used Reddit, so I mean, maybe something. I mean, it comes up sometimes, but I don't. It's never my go-to for anything. Yeah, look, I've been waiting for Discord for 7 or 8 years. I remember when my kid was up there on the screen and had recommended Microsoft about 5 years ago. And the reason why he had done that was because of Discord, and Microsoft was trying to buy Discord at that time, it was $6 billion or something like that. But yeah, Microsoft continues to work out here, just dollars away it was anyways. I don't know what the pullback over the last couple of days was, at its all-time highs right now. So, Microsoft continues to be, and it's just so funny. We had that study where nobody liked Microsoft at all. And Amazon, I think it was the fourth. It was Amazon, Meta, I don't know, maybe Google. I don't know what else was in that. But Microsoft basically didn't get any votes, and that's the one that's all the way back, all the way near the highs. So I think this is about to break at some point here, 470. So that's going to be something to look at. I mean, it's a fade. If the market's going to be red, then we can fade off of that high, and at least you have an area right there. But Microsoft with the cloud really working out there, and yeah, obviously they don't have Discord, but yeah, nice move to the high side there for MSFT. I mean, I don't even hear anything else about Xbox or anything. That's now done. We all wait for more talk there. Windows still being run, obviously. And yeah, their investment in OpenAI obviously has been a nice little windfall for them as well. But Microsoft looking real good, man. I mean, there's not going to be a better Mag 7 chart right now than Microsoft. So yeah, you want to keep on going with that one. Again, I still look at this and say, wow, we are very, very far away from the 200 period moving average. Look what happened right here last time we were there. Yo, it's disco time tonight. We've got a party in here sponsored by Microsoft. Joe is ready to go.
You got to do that head shake from what's that movie with the?
No, it's those guys. Yeah, Night at the Roxbury.
Night at the Roxbury. That's the one.
Night at the Roxbury. I'm Will Ferrell. Okay. You can be the monkey guy, whatever that guy is. The guy that
I don't even know what his name is.
Neither do I. He was eating a stupid apple.
What the hell is his name?
Oh man, what's his name? Yeah, I don't know who the other guy's name is.
I don't know.
That guy's annoying to me. I don't know.
No, I never liked him.
That's why I immediately don't want to choose that one. But Night at the Roxbury. Hey, what do we do? I thought that was like a new feature there. We should have kept that up.
I don't know if that was a new feature. I think this something just had a mind of its own.
Oh well, it was fun for a minute there. All right, let's go back to the desk. It's 8:48 right now. I don't think we have a guest lined up or anything today that I can see. So Andre goes, no guest for you. So we'll pass on that. Oh, is it Joe? Oh, no, that's a guess.
Joey Options.
That's a guess. We have Joey Options. That's a guess. Come on, Andre. Well, maybe the best one of the week. I know. That's Andre.
You get no respect.
I'm saying you're the best one of the week, man. I mean, Andre, the one here, forgetting about that. All right, let's go back over the desk or to Joe or somewhere.
Oh, okay, it's your boy. All right, good morning, everybody. We're headed right here. Happy hump day, and let's get this ball rolling, guys, because I think this is going to be a good one here, and how we can utilize options to kind of eliminate this FOMO that you may be feeling, especially because the market is up 31% off of these Liberation Day lows. So being a smart trader, you don't want to necessarily chase, but you still want to have some exposure in these markets and then look to allocate some shares. So what are we going to talk about this morning? And that's going to be CSPs, cash secured puts. This is going to eliminate our chasing factor and allow us to make profits while we wait for the underlying asset to come to where we specifically want to own it. Now, I know that the Qs are relatively expensive, but what I'm getting at is that we're up 30%, and I know a lot of people are feeling like they're missing out on this run, but there's ways that we can capitalize on this, and that's via options. That's why the power of options is absolutely amazing. Now, we're not gonna get into something that's a $527 stock, but let's get into one of my crowd favorites, and that is going to be Robinhood. All right, so this is a little bit less expensive. It is $70, but if you feel like that you want to be the proud owner of Robinhood, but you don't necessarily want to buy it at these prices, well, what can we do? We can start to sell cash secured puts. Well, Joe, what is a cash secured put? So what that essentially is that we are going to be writing or selling options at a lower strike price than what their underlying is currently trading at. But this allows us, okay, it's party time. So this allows us to become profitable without even owning it. And if our options contract does expire in the money, that's exactly what we're trying to aim for. But we get to own the stock at a price that we specifically want to. Now, let's take a look at this options chain here. This is Robinhood, and we're gonna go 23 days out. You're gonna say, Joe, I don't necessarily want to own Robinhood all the way up here around north of $70, but I would like to own it at $65. I think that's a relatively fair price. So what can we do? We can now write a put, sell a put, which is making us essentially long the market, and we can collect, we'll go down to the 65 strike, and we can collect $213. Now, if the contract expires and that contract is out of the money, well, congratulations. You got to collect $213. But yet, that's okay. We can just roll that contract over. And if you don't get it at 65, you can just sell that exact same put once again. But the key to this specific strategy is not chasing the market. You don't have to chase it. You can profit and then wait for the underlying asset to come to where you specifically want to own it. Now, if that short put expires in the money, well, congratulations. You now own 100 shares of Robinhood at the exact price that you want, and that's going to be at $65. So don't have those feelings of FOMO, you're missing out, you missed out on these big moves. You can still profit from the market continuing to appreciate without necessarily having to chase it. And if it does come to that specific strike price and those contracts do close in the money, well, there you go. You got it at the exact price that you are looking for. And that's the beauty of options. Don't chase this market. The capital requirements may be a little bit larger, but you have the ability to get in exactly where you want to. And if it doesn't work out how that trade planned, then you still get the profit from the premium you collected via selling the puts, guys.
Good look there by Joe. And of course, Joey Options uses Robinhood as an example, and Robinhood promptly decides to break out. Because why not? Like, the timing couldn't be more perfect. Like, I didn't really see, outside of Joe just mentioning it, I didn't hear anything in terms of news. I still haven't seen anything come off the wire, but it just broke out the 73. So, yeah, look, the dip buy into the afternoon lows on Robinhood doesn't seem like it's going to be a thing. The readjustment's going to have to come because it just took out another fresh 52-week high. As you can see, it's on an absolute tear. Strong when the market is, I don't want to call the market weak because it's flat right now, but the market was pulling back in after we got that ADP, and now Robinhood breaking out. Prior highs, I guess the first place to look in here, yesterday's prior high, but it's well above all of that. So maybe this will calm down in the next 30 minutes. Robinhood going to be on the mind again today, as it is one of the stronger longs in this market that's not named Coreweave.
Yeah, Circle Internet Group. IPOing today, it looks like, right? Scheduled for Thursday, June 5th, it says. It circles tomorrow, right? So people talking about that with the hype coming through. So that's coming tomorrow. I just want to double check that. I actually looked at Grok. They got it right. Thursday, June 5th. there for Circle IPO. So everyone talking about that there on the chat. Yeah, you're not going to get that today. We are working, bear with us with the lights. They'll be fixed. We're working on those right there. Just Circle is going to be as USD stablecoins. That should be fun. JP Morgan, looking around here. WFC got their investment, or I forget the exact wording there, lifted yesterday. So we're going to watch out for WFC today. I think that could be a play for sure in and around this, sort of where we were yesterday, $76, $77 there coming through for that one. So we'll have to wait to see. Wells Fargo, asset cap. Asset cap there is now lifted. So that was imposed back in 2018 with some of those shenanigans that Wells Fargo was all involved with. So we'll watch out for WFC today. I think there's a play here for sure. All right, let's go back over to the desk.
Or stay with us, which is perfect. Oh, there we go.
Oh, hi. Sorry, I didn't even realize I was already here. Just checking to make sure my mic was good, and it is. Let's take a look at Snowflake here. One of two cybersecurity names on this upgrade and downgrades list. Getting an upgrade today from UBS, about 3% this morning. Dollar General Oppenheimer upgrade today. They reported earnings yesterday morning. Yum Brands with the Goldman Sachs upgrade, and TKO here, basically flat today, but getting a positive note from Bernstein. Downgrades, things get really interesting. Apple getting a Needham downgrade. They're basically saying a $170 to $180 price range, more of a range than a pure price target, but you can find out all about that downgrade on our watch list. Constellation Energy here getting downgraded by Citigroup. Yesterday, they had quite the pop and drop on news of this deal with Meta for some nuclear power. Then we have Aptiv getting downgraded by Guggenheim. Last but not least, our second cybersecurity name on this list and one of our day one earnings plays, CrowdStrike, down 7%, getting downgraded here by Evercore ISI after its earnings report. Revenue was actually in line, guys.
Yeah, maybe not enough. We'll talk a little bit more about CrowdStrike. Maybe not as much growth as you're going to like to see when, look, they're priced like the entire group, man. You're at all-time highs or fresh highs, and your PE is going to be really high, and it wasn't perfect, and the growth wasn't what they wanted to be, and the guidance wasn't what they wanted to be, so they're going to get some downgrades. I think there's going to be a good chance to buy that stock. I don't know about today. Maybe it does that 10% down move. But Apple, on the other hand, I don't know, let's see how tough they are, because like it's got this, all I wrote on my iPad was just 204, like short 204, and then right away it looked like we were testing down at 201. I'm like, I don't know if we're going to get to that price. So it seems rather unlikely. The market doesn't seem all that strong after ADP to get us to that level, but that's the only place I'll be looking on that bad boy. And I do think on the CrowdStrike, downgrade or no, it's the kind of stock. I'm pretty sure. I think it was actually last earnings on CrowdStrike. I remember it might have been the last earnings, but it was one earnings play where we did have CrowdStrike, and it was an SSR bounce. And it was a very, very clean one. You just had to get the timing right. And I remember punching and missing on CrowdStrike and not crossing. I think I tried to go inside the spread or something to get the fill, and it didn't get long. You just needed to be able to punch in. If this goes down 10% today, it's on the hunt for an SSR bounce for me.
Yeah, for me, like I said, CrowdStrike, I won't be trading it today, but we'll definitely be looking to pick something up if it does continue to make a move down. Look at that after the 3 days is what I'm looking for right there. So I think TKO to me is a little interesting. We've, I like the WWE. I talked about how much, look at the stock. How I talked about this when we do making our picks back in January, like just how good this name was on that pickup there with Netflix. Like the fact that WWE is now just so available to the masses. It always was with cable. WWE Monday Night Raw is the most watched show still. And it's been like that for 30 years. So that is just an absolute monster level there at 140. Right into there. So, like, I don't know, a nice dip there. Should have took advantage of a lot of dips, but, that one definitely making a move back in right there. So we'll see if that upgrade, I believe it was an upgrade, right? Was it upgraded? It doesn't matter. I'm upgrading it anyways. Breaking through this 165, I think is a nice breakout there for TKO. Another name that we won't be trading, but UFC, WWE, things like that. Again, I like the stock, and it gets you into something other than AI and IT and all this kind of stuff. TKO, I think, continues to work. And again, I really like the stock. So there it goes, right? You see Trump at all these UFC events and things like that. I like it. You know, it's not going anywhere. President Trump's going to be around for 3 years. How many more events is he going to be at? You know, so I really think it's a forward move here. I like the stock. It's probably a little bit expensive now, but 165, 140 would be great if we ever got anything down there. So on a big move down, we'll look to pick up some TKO. But right now, I think it's good to go, man. Upgraded. Let's see if we take out those highs of 185 on TKO. So there we go. Unless Vince McMahon buys it back, no, I don't think that guy is. That guy's sailed for a bit. He's not going to be doing anything for a while, I don't think. So, all right, let's go back over to the desk. It's 9 o'clock, right on time.
Huge.
59.82, guys. That's where we closed out yesterday on the ES June contract. We are 4 points from the overnight high off that 6,000 point area. That'll be a multi-month high. So 59.96, that's the official overnight high, with 59.74 being the overnight low. So we're going to use the same range we used yesterday. 6,000 as resistance, 59.50, Brendo, as support.
All right, let's go. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you take a second. Sign up for the watch list. Absolutely free every single day. Comes right to your inbox. Link is in the description below. Top link in the description. In fact, very easy. You get that sent right to your email every single morning, has everything that's moving around in the pre-market. And why? Let's talk about Coreweave to the upside here to the tune of about 4.3% so far this morning. Coming back in a little bit right now, but what a monster day that was yesterday on that APLD announcement for them. We'll see if we can make it 2 days in a row here, but a lot of people talking about this one this morning.
It was a really good deal that they signed with Applied Digital, Brendo, a 15-year lease agreement with Coreweave to supply about 250 megawatts of IT load to its North Dakota data center campus. Coreweave also holds an option to add another 150 megawatts, potentially bringing the total to about 400 megawatts there. The deal is expected to generate about $7 billion in revenue. The capacity and the timelines, in case you're wondering how quickly this is all going to happen, 100 megawatts by Q4 of this year, another 150 being added by mid-26, and then a third 150 here, Brendo, added in 27. So a great deal. But, you know, just anecdotally, we were talking off camera, Neil and I and Adara and Obi, and we were looking at how much shorts are going to cost for Coreweave. They're getting a little bit up there, Brendo. They're starting to cost a little bit more.
This might be why. Here's the daily chart. Zoom out a little bit here. We're gapping up into space right now, guys, for Coreweave all-time highs.
We're into the
It's
we're in the other stratosphere. It's nuts. It is absolutely crazy. I think it's getting to that point where everyone's like hunting for that opportunity to short it, which that can be a dangerous thing. I'm still looking for, you could make an argument that it was very controlled to the upside without any just breakout, ridiculous upside breakout candle that you would revert. Like that's that kind of thing I want to see. Like if it starts going like ham again, and then you see one of those, like an outsized, one of the bigger candles of the day, like something, there weren't really even that many. Like I want to see like a $5 to $10 candle and just a ridiculous topping tail. And that's kind of capitulation I think you want to wait around for. And then the party starts to the south side. Until then, like if it starts establishing an upward trend, like if I see it do anything like this, like it did yesterday, kind of hold into a dip and then break out the top and then consolidate over the prior high, then I think it's just a join the trend type of play for me on Coreweave. But it has to be the greatest short setup and an obvious one, or I'm not touching with a 10-foot pole. I just want to make a note on the Robinhood story. So it turns out here that Bank of America has called Robinhood a prime candidate to join the S&P 500. I chuckle because everyone already believed that. I mean, our crew, you guys in our community actually were saying Robinhood when we were asking the last time through, and Coinbase got in. So I don't think it's any surprise we all expect Robinhood to get into the S&P 500. That was the reason for that almost $2 spike there in Hood. It's been an absolute beast.
Yeah, so Coreweave, I mean, with Nvidia owns 24 million shares or something like that of Coreweave. So, you know, I mean, we saw yesterday a big move in Nvidia. We saw a big move in Coreweave. I don't think, I mean, it's a drop in the bucket for Nvidia. It's not going to move the needle, but, you know, we should have just figured out that this was the stock. And, you know, the minute you broke this $60 area right there, it was off to the races. It's actually doing pretty good volume right now in the pre-market, over 2 million shares. That's one of the leaders here. So it's a good move. The traders still like this stock. I feel like if you're just going to use obvious support and resistance levels, this 200 period moving average yesterday, that's this green line, was kind of good. You know, dip buy there into it, dip buys. So yeah, I would say you just watch this 200 period moving average at 155. I mean, it's going to be different by the time the market opens up, but just chart a 200 period moving average, and then we'll wait to see what happens on that break, right? And so I'm going to still go. I'm not going to go long, but let's see how it goes. If it continues to do this and we get some drips or dips into the 200 period moving average on the 1 minute chart, then I think it's a go and it's a buy. And then you do that until we break it, maybe give it $2 or $3. And then you'd see a momentum change and a shift change, and then maybe the short will come in. It reminds me a little bit of that Micron, where look, we just kept going up. This is the 50 period moving average. This is more for short-term trends, right? We broke it, but not that much. So right there, we break that 142. We go down as low as 141, $1, and then make that move up again. And then there's a much better break, right? But then we resisted at the 200 period again. So pretty choppy with that 50 into the close. So we're not going to look at that too much. Watch the 200 period. We're underneath VWAP. We're underneath the 50 right now. Maybe this is the day that Coreweave finally turns around. You could see a top here at 162. So that to me is pretty interesting right there. I don't care. The shorts aren't expensive enough. No matter what they cost, it's going to be worth it. So Coreweave right there at 162. Maybe, I don't think it is a short, but watch out for that. We're underneath VWAP right now. You could maybe peg your short to that level. So if you wanted to go, I wouldn't go short before the market opens because you could absolutely blast it. But if we do hang around here, just watch out. See what happens there. We had a little bit of a stop and go there, right? Just kind of like, I feel like at 150 right here in the afternoon, it kind of didn't want to do this. So it's doing it in the after hours and in the pre-market. Let's just see what the real money says about this trade here once we open up. I'm actually talking myself more into a short here of Coreweave, so I may have to get going on that one. Sticky notes can be out in a second, but I probably should have added that. I like the short up here, 162 to 165.
All right, let's go on to CrowdStrike here to the downside, tune of 7.6%. Not a good report here. Guidance missing, worse than expected. Q1 sales below estimates as well. So if you zoom out, there is definitely some levels under us right now. Anything below 450 down to 400, probably significant here.
Yeah, this thing was rocketing up all of 25, Brendo. So there's some room to pull back here. Let's talk about how they did. EPS. This is the current quarter, guys. We're talking about EPS 73. The street was looking for 65. They beat their revenue 1.1 billion. That was in line with estimates and also 20% year-over-year growth. The net loss, though, and we'll talk about this in a second. They actually made $42.8 million last year. They lost $110 million there, so no take-home money. Let's talk about the guide before we talk about why they lost money. EPS here for Q2. This is a Q2 guide, 82 to 84. EPS here, the street was looking for 81 pennies. Revenue, 1.14 to 1.15. That missed. The street was looking for 1.16. Full year guidance, though, not bad. $3.44 to $3.56 a share. That's well higher than the street was expecting, as well as revenue higher than expectations. They also announced a share buyback program, about $1 billion, signaling, obviously, confidence in the company. CEO George Kurtz emphasized the buyback reflects the belief in the company's mission and market position. But the rising cost here is the problem. Higher costs reported across sales and marketing, as well as R&D. All tied to infrastructure investments and last summer's software outage. That cost them a lot of money. So despite the solid top-line growth, Brendo, rising expenses here weighing on profits.
Yeah, a number of analysts chiming in, including Canaccord Genuity here with a full downgrade going to hold. They did raise their price target, though, to $475 for Crowd, you guys.
Yeah, like we said, like if you're at the highs, and we had a super chat in the afternoon asking about CrowdStrike and would you buy it going to earnings? I was like, no, expensive and at the high is not a great recipe because everything has to be so beyond perfect. The growth needs to be extraordinary, and then you're going to have the guide look very good as well. So the slightest issue, and you're going to see it start to pull back. It's down 7.5 points here. It already busted through 450, 455, like the prior high. So you're underneath that. That's why I believe it has a decent chance to get double digits today. And if I see it in the double digits, that's when I look for, the SSR bounce. Like essentially just stock is down 10%, the uptick rule goes into effect, and then look for like a trend reversal type of play. I mean, the first spot that makes some obvious sense is right in around like the 440 area. Like it'll be down, that's when it gets down that 10 points. That's the first place I'd look. 430, however, on the daily chart is a bigger support level. Those are the two spots I'd look for that mean reversion on CrowdStrike if it gets down there. If it just goes bouncing off the open, then there's really no trade there for me. It has to be a trend reversal down into one of those levels.
All right. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of questions on Twitter about CrowdStrike. So, yeah, look, the same thing what we were talking about there. We talked about this miss happening. It does happen. And there it goes. I mean, not even a miss, but there it goes to the downside. I'm going to give this a 3-day rule and really just leave it alone. I want to buy some more of this. I'm still long off of that July date right into here. I'm still long from here. I haven't touched it. I haven't added to it. I haven't done anything. Probably should have got out there for nearly a double. And now it's a double, actually. We can take it out right now. But we'll wait to see. That's a nice move up there for CrowdStrike. Yeah, we had bought this I guess it was just last July. It wasn't even that long ago. And it just had a huge move up. So I'm thinking about, I don't know, I could just get out of this and put it into an index, double that money, put it into index and don't worry about it. But let's just see what winds up happening. For this 408, this area, I feel like we could come into this area here, 430. I don't know. Like I still like it. I think with I was going to say President Trump, but it doesn't really matter who's in. National security is always going to be an issue. And now that we talk about everybody has cell phones, everybody has all these apps, all of the internet security, deep fakes, all this kind of stuff, especially with AI happening. I just think that CrowdStrike, the whole space is great. So I like the space. It reminds me of, and it's a mature space because it's not like internet security is brand new. It just reminds me of, like, everyone's talking about quantum and nuclear and all that. I mean, cybersecurity is actually something that they're making money on, and the products are here. They're here to stay, and the leaders have already been anointed. So CrowdStrike is most likely the leader in this space. So I would just continue to be on CrowdStrike and wait for some better dip buy opportunities. I think 430 is a great opportunity, but I'm not going to be trading this today. But I mean, I could, maybe if I was going to use a couple shares, fine, but I'm not going to put any real risk into this name today. I'm going to give it 3 days and then maybe buy some up.
All right, battle for the biggest went back towards Nvidia yesterday after Microsoft was there for a few weeks. Absolute monster day yesterday for Nvidia. We had a little bit of profit taking into the close, but here we are back to the upside, 0.5% right now. 3.4 trillion once again. Morgan Stanley likes this one today.
The number one valued company in the world by market cap, now overtaking Microsoft first time since January, guys. And it got added to the latest ATI or AI ETF, guys. Danny Ives of Wedbush launching an ETF specifically focused on AI. It's going to have 30 names, chief among them. Of course, it's going to be Nvidia, Microsoft, Google, Apple. So we'll be keeping an eye on this one. Good look here. He talks about some of the lesser known names as well. But yeah, Nvidia had a big day, Brendo, number one company now.
Yeah, it is coming back in a little bit here, guys, but definitely holding a little bit better than the rest, even in this group right now.
That's interesting. I'd want to check that note out. Can you send me that link there, Sharif? Because I'm curious. I'm more curious about not those 4 names that we all know are going to be involved in AI. Like how much Palantir is going to be in there.
A lot.
Denny Ives love Palantir, so that's not a great example. Like, what are the names that we haven't heard and wax poetic about that might be in that ETF that you want to get some exposure to? Nvidia, they're the king right now, no questions asked. There was that little bit of like we said, there was a dip with Trump and the ADP. It's stabilized pretty much at yesterday's highs, but that's not where I was looking here. Like 141 kind of double tapped it. Like if you look at the afternoon move on negative talk with the spending bill, you had a respect of the 141 level when it pulled back in, and then after the close, it was able to bounce there again when things were dipping a little bit after CrowdStrike. So I think 141 is looking pretty good. There is some overhead resistance up here, so I would suspect on any weakness, playing longs into that overhead top here at 144 is going to make a lot of sense. So I like Nvidia, it's long side, but I cannot ignore Micron. Micron's going to be near top of the list today. For 2 days in a row, massive program buying on Micron. And shout out to everyone in the chat that's been like, what is going on with Micron? And we've seen it now for a couple of days. Remember, everybody, if you haven't hit that like and subscribe, we got a lot of new viewers watching out there, and that's what makes the community great. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, share with your friends so we can all find opportunities like this in Micron. Now, if I see, it's pretty simple. I'm going to sit out the opening candle. It's what I put in my note, because the last couple of days, it didn't mean anything, that opening candle. But if I see multiple 15-minute greens, I want to look long on Micron. Keep it simple. And that could be in the verge of the first candle could be down, hold the 101 level. Great, that's the ideal, holding 101. But if it's green on that opening range, I want to join the long in Micron. If it's red, then I'm looking for a reversion play. Program buying 2 days in a row. If it isn't there, I think it's a short. But every single time it's open with a couple of green on that 15, the continuation has been spectacular on that chip name. Just ridiculous what it's been doing.
All right, joke time. So here we go. I just posted this up on Twitter. So go follow at TraderTV Sean. Here it is, joke time. So today is National Cheese Day. So what kind of music would a slice of cheese like to dance to? R&B. That's not bad. Credit to my lovely wife. Oh, nice. Changed her profile picture there. Okay. Right there. So it's National Cheese Day. But there it is. Okay. So, if you invested in cheese, you would like a nice brie turn.
Cheese. What's your favorite cheese?
I like a Parmesan. Lots of uses there in my culture. Don't disrespect my culture. Oh, have you ever seen a kid? Marissa sent me this. There's some kid, I don't know if he's from Brooklyn, or I don't know where he's from, the Bronx or something. And he's just like a 7-year-old. He's like, I went to this restaurant and they had some sandwich and it didn't have fresh mozzarella on it. Don't disrespect my culture. And it's so stupid.
7-year-old.
I should find it.
I feel that. I'll
find it. It's really, she was showing it to me and it was just like, I was just like, this kid is so stupid. But it was just like, so funny. Anyways, stupid TikTok or something. I don't know. I'm even on TikTok. I have to ask Sharif about that. But
he's all over it then.
Yeah, Nvidia. It's not on my watch today, to be honest with you. I mean, I have Apple T. I mean, you guys wanted the sticky note out, so I just put it there in the chat there. But yeah, look. I mean, Nvidia's been on my note pretty much every day for the last 5 years. So this dip buy area to me is something interesting. I'm a little bit nervous today just because I don't like that Powell. I just looking to see what the futures are doing. They're not doing anything now, so it's not giving me a great feel right now for the direction of the market. I want, if there's going to be a long, it's Nvidia and Palantir. I have no problem doing that. Nvidia was the number one. It was the number one stock by 50 times yesterday, P&L wise. So I'm down for trading Nvidia, but it's just a matter of like waiting to see if something like this could happen again. Yesterday we got those vibes. Today we don't. I don't. So I'm just going to wait for Nvidia, see if it gives me something. Potentially this top here, 142.50, something to look at for a short. But again, I don't have the good feeling today for NVDA. So today it's a puff pass for me early on Nvidia. So we'll wait to see. I mean, if there's trade deals, more announcements about China, anything like that we can get going with NVDA. But that breakout there on Nvidia has more holes in it than Swiss cheese.
Good.
I like Swiss.
Like a nice smoked.
Absolutely.
Swiss.
And the way I'm feeling right now, Brendo, hungry, I'll eat it right now.
Yeah. What's your favorite?
Favorite type of cheese? Oh, that's a tough one there. I'm gonna go.
Have you ever had Oka?
I have. I'm gonna go feta.
Feta's great.
I'm gonna go double cream feta, Brendo.
Good call. I like that. I like that. Dollar Tree, 0.5% here, trying to get back to maybe positive. This was not a great report anyway. I mean, you and I were talking about this yesterday, the tariff effect and the China specifically effect for all of these discount stores, if you will. Dollar Tree comes out, warns of just that near-term pressure because of the potential for these tariffs. But here we are, just 0.5% down.
Yeah, not bad. Not a bad report at all. Dollar General obviously reporting yesterday. Great report there. So let's talk about how these guys did. posted Q1 adjusted EPS of $1.26 on $4.6 billion in sales. EPS beat 121. Revenue also beat. Not a bad look. Same-store sales also rose 5.4% year over year, beating the street's expectation of 4% growth. Now, with respect to the full-year growth forecast, they're looking at 3 to 5% growth. Q2 is expected to be toward the high end of that range. This all, though, assumes that tariff levels, remain the same, and the company can offset the current margin pressure. They did raise their EPS guide for full year from $5.15 to $5.65. That was up from a previous $5 to $5.50. The boost reflects the effect of the Dollar Tree share buyback program. But there are near-term headline risk here. As you mentioned, Brendo, the company anticipates some earnings volatility in the short term. They're talking about Q2 EPS could decline possibly by 45 to 50% before rebounding in later quarters, and margin pressure is tied to tariffs, as you mentioned, as well as other input costs.
We're sitting here just a couple of dollars away from $100 on DLTR. Pretty good day yesterday, guys, for this one.
Yeah, a little bit choppy in the pre-market, though, on relatively light volume on Dollar Tree with a big spread. So it's in the no trade zone for me. It's kind of all over the place, and the liquidity, not what you'd like to see. It's not really in terms of the trade plan going to be there. That said, I think this is perfect example of the 3-day rule in here, because going into this, it's filled in the gap on the daily almost to a T. Like essentially right around here, like 94, 95 would be that key spot to see if they can hold back above, and then resistance at that 100, I think, is going to be in play for Dollar Tree. But another thing that we got to talk about here is Vinfast shining at the Indonesian Auto Show. And they stole the spotlight at the 2025 Indonesian International Motor Show in Surabaya, grabbing four major awards. The VF3 was named Best EV City Car with 89% of the 50,000 plus public votes, beating out Chinese and Japanese rivals. It was also the most test-driven car at the event. The VF6 picked up favorite new car launch. It was praised for its sleek design and smart tech. Vinfast buzz is growing fast in Indonesia, Southeast Asia's largest and fastest growing market. Nice looking car there. Oh, you catch me looking at it.
Catch us looking at it.
I love it.
Are you done that thing?
Yeah, well, you know what? One of my favorite things when you see those commercials or just any promo video, it's like the dude that's job it is that just flies the drone to shoot those. Like somewhere out there.
About that with movies and stuff, they get such good looks.
But there's someone whose job is just like, I fly drones for promo stuff. I fly drones for movies.
Job, though.
I'm sure it's not an easy job, but I'm sure it's a fun job. Every time I see those videos, I'm like, oh, that looks so cool.
I was thinking about that when I'm watching movies, like some of those angles that they get, and it's just kind of like, wow, some of the technology there, but we're talking about Vinfast. I thought you were going to say, I really like to look at those videos and see some of the new colors and stuff like that. There was like a hot orange in there and things like that. So, yeah, shout out to Vinfast. You should, not a Vinfast or anything like that, and you don't drive into work, so it's not, for you, it doesn't really matter, but I was trying to convince Randy, like we literally have those chargers downstairs.
I don't, and he was the one so excited about it.
I know, and he's going to when he's here next, he wants to drive a Porsche, so he's looking for, I guess, I just want a Taycan. Does Porsche have an SUV that's Macan EV only from Sharif there? Got to go to the source there in Sharif.
knows.
Oh, hey, Fabian. What's up, man? You look like a DJ over there. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, shoot.
Can you see that? Oh, Neil, move, Neil.
Oh. No other way.
There we go.
No?
There he is.
Can you see?
There, almost. There.
Here, I'll go.
Good enough.
No, there you go.
There he.
Okay.
Now we're really screwing up. There he is, Fabian. I thought, I looked over. I was like, what? Because I know Adara's on to the left of me, Fabian to the right of me. You're over here. Normally we got Randy chilling out on the couch over there.
That's his
but right now, oh wow, okay, we're getting on in time. So this is funny because this is the first time probably in Trader TV history that Tesla's been number 5.
Yes.
On there. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and below Dollar Tree? Like that's the other thing. Like, all right, not trying to throw any shade on. The wife and I were actually talking. Shout out to Marisa. I don't know if she's watching or not. She gave me that joke. I didn't know it was National Cheese Day. I should have brought my cheese head in actually. But no, I was going to say, we were talking about that. She's been relatively unimpressed. She was in the dollar store. She goes there to find, I should show you a picture of our garden. Shout out to Patty Ice if he's there. The tomato is now planted officially in the garden. We got some heirlooms. herbs. We got some other things going on in there, some jalapeno. We got zucchinis. We got everything. I'm going to see if I can find you a picture. But she goes to the dollar store normally to get gardening equipment, like just little scoops or shovels or little fencing things, tie-ups and things like that. And she said it was that's Dollarama though.
Yeah, Dollarama.
This is Dollarama here in Canada. She was disappointed with it this year.
That's interesting.
So I don't know if quality is something there or what, but yeah, generally speaking, Dollarama has been relatively disappointing here from her standpoint. So back to Walmart and Home Depot, I guess.
Can't go wrong.
Gardening needs, and you know, she was at Costco yesterday, and I don't know, Costco's good. She got some plants there. All right, Tesla. I'm not even
and China.
Tesla. Not on the sticky note. We're not even doing Dollar Tree yet?
What?
Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah, I'm passing it off. We're going back over to the desk with Tesla.
Which is positive right now, 0.3%, trying to bounce back above 345. Currently, if you missed it, once again, we get some numbers from China that are a little bit disappointing, 15% year over year. Decline once again in May for China sales on the back of earlier this week. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. We were talking about XPeng and BYD as well. And the simple fact that the competition there just escalates over and over and over again. So Elon in tough.
And it was Elon who started the price war, Brendo, back in 23, and now he's kind of reaping the rewards. So let's talk about it. 8 straight months of decline for Tesla EV sales in China, despite the fact that they had a 5.5% month-over-month increase in April. So it's a bit of a tougher look there. China made Model 3 and Model Y deliveries, as Brendo mentioned, fell 15% down to 61,662 units. Total includes both domestic sales and the exported products to Europe and other global markets. Sales incentives, though, have been trying to pick up here. So Tesla's offering smart driving feature transfers on new cars through June to spur demand. Also, the Model 3 and the Model Y include a state-supported EV push for the rural areas, so not for the cities. That's a first for Tesla. Other companies have been given that by the government, but the price war continues. So as I mentioned, Tesla 2023 initiated price war, still raging, now involving over 40 brands. We got BYD, Geely. There's even a company called Chery, which recently followed BYD's new May incentive with fresh rounds of price cuts. And the Chinese regulators, Brendo, they've urged these automakers to althoid destabilizing price competition by undercutting each other so aggressively.
I'm Googling Chery cars in China.
Chery,
it is actually a thing.
Is it a good looker?
It kind of looks like Subaru, actually.
Have a look.
Interesting. Yeah. Who knew?
Okay. I didn't know even know that existed.
Literally never heard of that. Thoughts, guys, on Tesla here?
In the afternoon, you saw that heavy sell-off, and whether you want to blame Elon Musk being critical of the spending bill or not, like Tesla was the one that fell the most, and then it had the most continuation after that. So those afternoon resistance levels, like 350 in here into I think 350 to 353 on my note. Like if we pop into those levels, I'm looking short on Tesla. We did have. It is 928, obviously.
Oh, we bumped above.
There's really nothing happening on the imbalance locator. I mean, you got NEO in here for a 350 sell, so not a heck of a lot in their WFC. Wells Fargo for a buy of 275,000. That makes some sense. I think that could be a strong stock today. HPE 270,000 to the buy side. But for me, Tesla, I'm looking at short pop. Sometimes when that's the case, it never gets into that level. But I think you got to be patient here, especially in that opening range. Like sometimes you get in way too early, and your best opportunity came after, say, like 10 o'clock. Like I looked at Robinhood yesterday, and that was much better if you just joined the trend after 10 o'clock. You'd say the same thing about Coreweave. So if we get up into that 350 zone, that's when I start looking short on TSLA.
Yeah, for me, okay, we only have a minute and a half left to go right here, and then we'll have that opening bell come through. I was just saying to Obi there when I just saw him there, is I don't have a good feel for direction for today. So for me on Tesla, it's outperforming the market, but to me, it just still looks like a short. I hate to say that because I've been ripping the longs. I mean, I don't know if I've made too much money on the short at all, really. I seem to be always looking long on this name. And here I am again, like putting the cursor down here to try to find like where there would be a long instead of where there'd be a short. But 350 to me is about as obvious as anything you could see. So yeah, obviously anything around 350 is good to go. If you do go up $10, which I don't see why why that would ever happen. Then 353 to 355, obviously, again, that's another obvious place. So for me, it's a pass pretty much on Tesla there today, again, for now, until we see something. Nothing really here on the imbalance locator. I did write down on the sticky note, go find it at Trader TV, Sean, that I liked Wells Fargo down here as well at $76. But now we're starting to go back up to the upside. There's 76 for Wells. We'll see if that can get going. No Wells notice there. They got lifted on their asset cap. So that is no longer there. Apple is going to be an early play for me on my mind with only 15 seconds left. Apple's right here at 203. So I was thinking about this short right now, but again, with the market doing its thing, we're going to have to wait for Apple. All right, here we go. 4, 3, thank you, Adara. 2, and 1. All right. We are now open. So let's see what winds up happening. Here we're going to put an offer on Apple to see if we do get something up into this 203.80. Whoa, this 203.80 area. Let's start it right now in the 50s if we can get it, but a nice little move. It kind of got going there, yeah. So we'll wait to see what winds up happening here with Apple. It looks like it wants to go higher. I just tried to get that short and missed it right there. We're also looking for the TQQs in and around $74. That just came in. And again, we just want to wait because we don't want to be too like loaded up one way when we don't have that great feel that we talked about, right? Oh. So we'll wait for all these trades to sort of come in. There's Apple right now, Scream City up to 203. I'm short 203.80 right now.
Yeah, I just got 89 on AAPL there. Well, Robinhood, we'll get to Robinhood in a quick little second. Apple went right into that 204 level.
Let's go.
Pretty clean. It's right back into the 50s as we start to head back into the downside. The S&P and the Nasdaq are actually going higher in the moment, so be careful with the shorts, even though this one's working. My goodness, there goes Micron. I guess the program buying, it's going to start again here. Micron just broke out the high of the day. I said I want to sit out the opening candle and join any kind of a trend that we get to that upside. But right now, Micron heading higher, Tesla heading lower, Nvidia heading lower as well. But go Apple.
Yeah, man, this is the thing. Like when you when you put something down, you're going to try to follow it, right? So there goes Apple right here. To the downside. Let's see how low can we go. I'm bidding some 27s. And this is the benefit about using more shares is right there, right here, right now, very first trade of the day. We're in and we are now at our daily goal right there, just off of Apple. So there it goes, one move there. That's sort of the benefit of what I was talking about before. When you see something you like, use it because then right there, it's 932 right there. There's your first. We're trying to see if it can get there, but there's your first dollar. Let's see if it breaks through 203 and change. We are also short right now on the TQQs, so let's see if this can come into play. We wanted 74s. I think there's going to be a lot of work to do still in order for this market to come down, but we'll see. We just got another fill there, and there it goes. So it's hopefully Apple can break through this 203, and then oh boy, after that, man. So this is why we talk like that, man. It's not about like, oh, daily goal met or anything like that. It's just to show you guys that this is what, like if there's a trade that you like, you can put it on as long as you have your risk areas, and that's that, man. Go to the beach right now. I got to sit here and trade, but what a good day maybe to go golfing. So far, so good here. It's 932. Let's see where we can go. 74 breaks on this. We're gone. This market, like I said, starting to go upside. It's definitely doing the other way. Tesla, I told you we didn't have a good read on Tesla today, so I'm glad that we sort of stayed away from it. There's Tesla, boom. Market down, market upside, Tesla big time downside. Sometimes part of the best trade is stay away from things, and now we did that there on Tesla, and we just do it there, man. There it is. There's the daily goal right there. There's your first dollar club. It's your #1 trade here on the stick. You know, we like Apple. I know you've got it as well, so good job there. And let's just wait to see what happens with the TQQs now.
Yeah, we'll see what the wow. I can't believe the ES and the Qs are at the highs right now.
Same.
It's a little bit interesting to me. If it bounces off 203 here, however, on Apple, that's where the trail is going to be. I wanted Apple. I wanted Tesla short as well, but at this point, it just broke the low of the day, and there we go. We just bounced off VWAP. I just jumped out of Apple, and I got to get over to Coreweave very quickly for you guys. That's already $7 down. So it looks like today might be the day
down. Oh
on
my
Coreweave,
God.
as that one is heading south side rather rapidly. I did pay for locates on this morning. They were like 9 cents per share, which is still perfectly reasonable for a $150 stock. Let's see if it has the guts to get back into the VWAP and try to find something to the south side. And then Micron is still Opening candle on the 15 is still green. On the 3-minute, it's 2 green in a row. I'm not at the point where I said I want to sit it out early and then join the trend. At this point, all it has to do is close holding that 103, and I try for the long here on Micron. The stock is insane. Even with the market not doing that much, it continues to blow it out.
Oh boy, that's hilarious because like I said, I just ran into Obi and I was like, Coreweave probably heading downside right there. So that's a nice move, but I still don't trust the short. I would rather wait, obviously, for something like that to have happen right there. Again, we are actually pretty light now. We only have 15% left. I got to reset my AirPod here, but I only have 15% left of this. Oh, Wells Fargo's at
no, there was a shoot.
76.
I didn't catch it.
I wanted that at 76 here, so I'm just going to actually disconnect my EarPod and get back in there. But yeah, Apple, good trade, that's for sure. Nice move down there, right? There's that dollar. We're going to see if we can get a little bit more on that. But the market, like you had mentioned there, is still going higher. So bad read here on the TQs. Great read on Apple. But here comes the market right back upside. I'm going to short this play as well into 89s there. We add a little bit more. If we break through 74, we're out of this. So we're getting ready to rock and roll here, hopefully to the downside. But it is a nice move happening on the Nasdaq, as you can see right now, trying to get back to that pre-dump level there when we were talking to Powell. Trump was talking about Powell there. So we'll see if that can happen. Also, the jobs number came through weaker, right? So we'll have to wait to see here what's going on with the market. But happy that we only have that 15% left of Apple, but the market is starting to go upside right now. Tesla tanking?
Tesla's continuing to head red. There's not much of a bounce in the stock right now as it continues to go lower. So going to be a little bit patient with it. We'll go back over, see what Apple might get back to that 204 level. What do I have 2 offers up there? 1. Back up to that 204 level. If it does, want to look for that reload. I just saw in the chat and hitting up NEC, if you had a scanner up there, especially an e-signal one, I promise you, whatever scanner for strength that you have is probably screaming hymns at you. The stock hymns, not like actual hymns. You guys know what I'm talking about. $59, up 8%. This was a huge reversal yesterday and resistance at 60 after the opening range. So watch out for a dip after it gets to the 60 level, maybe playing back into VWAP. But big mover there for HIMS. 2 days in a row. I mean, they really gave it back on that stock. For the entirety of the day. So a lot of strength here at the open. It's a big short name as well. So keep an eye on HIMS. Tesla still looking like trash. Nvidia, it dipped. Oh, right into 141.20. Not quite into 141 even, but there was an opportunity potentially for a long while. I was staring down Micron. Nvidia gave you 141-ish.
Oh. Yeah. All right. We're getting close now to just losing all these bids and everything. So, you know, we're short the futures. We're short Apple again right here. This is about to come out. Like this market is, like I said, this is when you don't have a good read. It's always fine to have this happen. Like, you know, you get going to the. We just got stopped out of the TQs. I wonder if that
Apple just broke the high.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if that might be a top there. We'll try one more time here right now on the TQs because we just got stopped out over 74. Let's give it one more go. There goes Apple. We're still green on Apple there, but definitely not at our day's goal now as it went right back to the upside. So still green there on Apple, which is the right way to be, I think. So we'll wait to see now. I like green, red apples. We've had this discussion before. All right, so TQ's now off to the races. I mean, good. Didn't have a good read on today. There goes the long. We were thinking short. Not too much damage done yet to the P&L being the wrong way, but the long that we had in our mind was Palantir, and that just made a move into 130.75. I was talking about 130 longs there for Palantir. So Palantir and Tesla giving it up. Let's see if the market wants to follow. It doesn't look like it right now. Maybe back over to Coreweave or so. Are we going somewhere? All right, let's go to Adara.
Huh?
That is Red Cat Holdings. No news on this one. It did previously a while ago announce a Palantir partnership. So we know this one can run. It's rallied in the past, and it does have as well about I believe a 20% short float, 19% short float here for RCAT. Keep an eye on Red Cat. Back to you.
Did you just hear her?
Yeah, I heard, yeah.
And it's fine. Then it's working, yeah. All right, so there goes, just waiting to see. We're still short the futures, 74.20. If we do that, yeah, Apple's getting lifted, which is nice, man. We talked about the move that they had last WWDC was 10% from start to finish when they open, and WWDC is Monday. So Apple maybe getting just warmed up a little bit. So nice move there and a nice move back in for Apple to the upside there. So it looks like that 203 long was pretty nice. That is for sure. What's up, Adara?
Where here? Here's the Nasdaq. It is worth noting U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer making some comments now on trade negotiations with the EU. He says they're advancing quickly. So beware, as we get the move up here in the market, looks like these trade negotiations between the United States and the EU are apparently going well. We have some economic data this morning to remind you guys. 9:45 a.m., about 5 minutes or so, we'll get the S&P Services and Composite PMI. Then at 10 a.m., we're going to get the more closely watched ISM Services PMI. For our Canadian friends as well, I guess including ourselves, we have the Bank of Canada rate decision also coming through at 9:45 a.m. Back to you.
I was like, we got Canadian numbers today as well, so we'll see. The Canadian banks have been pretty hot fire, that is for sure. All right, man, and the name that we called as a short earlier, there's Coreweave going lower right now, looking to break through 150. What about a short on Coreweave at 150? That could be something that may be interesting. So that would be a trade for me to look at Coreweave breaking through 150. So before it gets SSR, we mentioned that this was going to be a short for us. So here it comes, man. It's Coreweave, 149 and change. Let's see how low we can get on that one. We'll try a short if it does break 150, but that would be it for me. And then we'll wait. We talked about it being 162, go short off the open and use 162 as your base. If you had done that, you're 158, 159 short probably. You're in the money $7 with a upside of about 4. So far so good on that kind of a trade idea. Here we go, man. The market's trying to get back in. We're bidding 01s. I'm going to put some out now at 05s as the futures are trying to come back in a little bit. We're only short here at 9s. So let's just wait to see what winds up happening there. Did we get that 01? No, we did not. We're bidding 01s there. This is, again, a derivative of the NASDAQ futures, right? And so it doesn't really matter 01s, 02s, 03s. I'm just trying to get it. I always play in front of even levels. So just instead of, throwing darts, we'll just play right there and then wind up seeing what's happening. We just got missed again, though, at 01. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's something at 01 there that's holding this. But we just bid some more out at 04. We get that. I'm just trying to right now get a little out. Like we're out of just about 15% of this trade, but for some reason we're just bounced again there. So hopefully the move continues to go down. I'm going to just continue to watch missing. I'm glad we took 04 a couple times there because we're out at 74.20. So here it comes right now, a little bit higher than this, and we're going to get stopped out. So a couple good outs there near the bottom, but it looks like there it is. We just get stopped out at 75%. We'll hold a little bit of that. That's too bad, man. That trade was working until it wasn't.
These mag names are going nuts.
Anyone seen a sticky note? Yes. What do you mean the Piper? It's out. Is it not out, the sticky note? Go over to me at, we are missing Bears versus Bulls, but it's out right here. So here it is right here. Should be good. Sometimes they change this. So hold on a second. Anybody who can reply? Yeah, everybody. It's there, Piper. You just got to go find it. So, all right. Yeah, Russia talking, EU, everything's talking right now. Let's just, I'm going to try to think about the short still. But yeah, it hasn't been working so far. So let's not get too stubborn. This is where we start.
It's working if you're in Tesla or
stock. Yeah,
definitely Tesla. Well, I'll look at CrowdStrike in a second. Tesla, Coreweave, I keep messing those two up in my head. But Tesla's underneath these lows. So you got a market, like the ES is screaming through the tops, the NASDAQ is screaming through the tops. You got Tesla languishing at the bottoms. You got Coreweave dropping out of the barrel in here. It's holding 150 at least for now. Like no retracements into VWAP, nothing
there
to be
goes
found
Palantir.
just yet. Palantir dropping as well, I'm assuming. Is that what you meant by yeah.
Right in, man. This is
heavy in
Palantir.
But I thought 120.
Oh man, I wrote down 130 and didn't take it.
It was 127 or 128 I was looking at on Palantir.
Yeah, I think you might.
Palantir, 128. No, it was 128. And here, if that gets down to 128, I'd look for a dip buy in PLTR. But it's starting to get real heavy to the upside, and you're led by Meta up 2 points in here and looking incredibly strong. Yeah, I'm not going to get Tesla. We're not going to get Tesla short at any of the prices we want at this point. And sometimes if that's the case, it's just what is the first available pop, and it might be into 343.
All right, so we're now short Coreweave. It does break through 149, so let's just see where it goes. On 150, sorry, we're short 149.70. So again, man, that's kind of just the spread that we wind up getting right there for CRWV. So here goes Coreweave, man. Let's see if we can make this a good day here for us as we'll go short Coreweave. We'll wait for some 149s. But oh boy, man, we are getting real juicy right now. This is going to be it right now. Here we go on the futures, man. We're short the futures. We had to wait for this trade, and we did, and we got it. And now, hopefully, it's fantastic. So there's the short there. We did get stopped out once. We got back into it. The futures are now coming back in as hopefully this will wind up working for us there. All right, so Coreweave, it breaks and doesn't, and it comes right back upside again. So just watch out. If there's a lot of people caught short on this trade like I am, then yeah, there is going to be a spot where you're going to have to punch out. Looking at like maybe 153. This is like... not a very big position on Coreweave. Oh, the position board's also not working. Okay, we're big time short the futures, like big time, and then we just have a small piece on Coreweave. Try to add into this in and around here, but if it breaks 153, I think we can officially get out of CRWV. So, but it's the futures, man. We're short at 74.17s right now, and this is going to be a good trade, I'm hoping for anyways, as this market starts to go down. We've got numbers with Adara.
Couple different numbers to be aware of here, guys. Of course, the key S&P services PMI and composite PMI, we're expecting 52.3 for services, composite 52.1. Both of these expected prints are the exact same as the previous prints. So we're expecting no change. Let's see if we get a change. Just waiting for these numbers to populate here. We're also expecting the Bank of Canada interest rate decision. That came in line exactly with estimates. So 2.75% here for the BOC interest rate decision. Now, let's see, we have these S&P numbers now, both higher than expected. So S&P Services PMI 53.7, S&P Composite PMI 53. So services, we were expecting 52.3. We got 53.7. Composite, we were looking for 52.1. We got 53. ISM Services PMI, the more closely watch of these numbers, is going to be coming through here at 10 a.m. Market bouncing a little bit here. Nothing too crazy, guys. Back to you.
All right.
Very much, Adair. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say we did get stopped out. Coreweave does break that level there of 153. So we're still in small pieces here. We got actually back in at 153 because it broke 153, then went to 151. So I feel like I might have just like nailed sort of the top there because that's what happened just after we got stopped out. It went down to 150 again. So let's just give it a breath here for Coreweave. So we'll see if something can happen. The board is now up. 153 and change will get stopped out on, but you got to watch out because sending market orders at this thing, there it goes, very, very dangerous. So we'll take an L there on Coreweave as it does not work. There's the 150 break, didn't work. I still want to be here for it, but maybe we got to wait now for VWAP or this 156 area. So let's just be a little more patient with this name and see if it wants to work. In being patient, I'm going to take actually another fill here, just smaller, and then see if I can watch it work its way back up into 155 and 156. Those are the shorts that I want to take on Coreweave. Not going to like die on the hill here or anything, but let's wait to see if it breaks 156 right here on Coreweave. That's the 50-period moving average. Maybe 156.50 or so would be a break spot there for me on CRWV. We're back into it. Let's see if it can work this time.
Yeah, let's see what happens here as the market's trying to get back up. We got a 15-minute candle on Micron that was green. I said I'd sit out the first one, and if it holds above the prior high, maybe the program buy is still on again, and we just try to work the trend on MU, which is relatively strong as far as I can tell. So bouncing off VWAP, you got the lows here on Nvidia, which is obviously one of the bigger chip names, is trying to bounce off lows. If you're holding the volume-weighted average price and the leader of the group is at the low, then I think you're relatively strong. So we're back into Micron. Well, I shouldn't say back into Micron because the only trade I had in yesterday was a short that worked. So we're into Micron for the long for the first time today. But I want to give a shout out to everybody because if you want a prop firm which is transparent, fair, and actually wants you to succeed, which is a big deal, then listen up. Because Prop XP gives you 1 to 200 leverage, one of the highest out there, and no high watermark. You get fast payouts, real support, and a team that's on your side. That's why they're rated 4.6 on Trustpilot and climbing. Use the code TraderTV and get 50% off your challenge right now. Scan the QR code you see in front of you, click the link in the description box, and start trading smarter with Prop XP. And one of the ways to trade smarter is ideally to try to join the trend. Now, in this particular case, you've got a market which is not doing. You get a market which is trending up. So okay, look for some longs in here, but not everything is looking that strong. Tesla. Let me just cancel that order at 342. Obviously, when it's trading 339, sometimes you don't get filled. You leave it in there. I don't want it filling like 20 minutes from now or half an hour from now above VWAP. Tesla at the lows down 1.5%. Next available pop. Maybe it can get to 341, 342, but it's putting in a bit of a bounce play right now. We wanted to be short this name, but I was thinking into 350, which obviously is not something we're going to be able to get. CrowdStrike. I guess it did do a bounce. I was looking for closer to, I think I was like 440. Yeah, it was closer to 440, so it never really got down there, but it's making a nice little bounce around CrowdStrike. Maybe a missed opportunity. And I just want to go back to Apple. Look at the strength. Now it's out consolidating above that 204 level, the prior high. So it was a good short initially, right back in. It bounced clean off the volume weighted average price. Sometimes it's the right decision getting out. Sometimes it looks terrible by the end of the day. But now you're consolidating and breaking out. These Mag 7 names are looking uber strong here. So I think we got away with one for the short side on Apple. But this market's really starting to take out some tops here for sure. All-time high day trader cut just said for Microsoft.
Ooh.
Is it?
Close.
No.
Yeah.
No. No, it's close.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
close.
It's close. Enough. But the more jokes thing is just yesterday I was like, yeah, is Nvidia ever going to give that title back up again? Maybe.
Yeah, no, yeah, we'll see. I think that's going to be a good, interesting thing to watch out for. I still think that that Nvidia will be very, very hard to catch. That is for sure. Okay, we do have another number coming out right here, so we're going to be very, very careful with it. Again, I don't know the Piper. I just asked my wife to Google me or whatever, and she says X is fine. So, I mean, maybe you have to log in. I don't know what is going on right here, but there's 10 o'clock ISM services PMI we have Trader TV Sean there. Estimated 52 versus 51.6. So let's see where that goes. We do have that in 10 minutes time right now. So we're going to start to scalp out a little bit more here of the futures heading into that number. We're short right now at 18s. We're going to get some more O's here, hopefully, and there it is. You know, the low here, if we can get, I think we should probably, I do have another bid though at 86, and then I had an 82, but let's just go to 72s now and see if we do get a move down here on the overall market, and then that'll be happy times for us if that could happen. There's Coreweave right now $3 in the money, so we waited for it. We have a bid at 150. Let's see how low we can go on Coreweave right now. It's too bad that we got stopped out of more shares when, you know, the first couple times, and then I just got sort of frustrated with it because I feel like we were nailing the top there, but I did not want to stay short. Like, I don't want to be short a name that looks like this on the daily, but I'm fine. There it is. Yes, yes, yes. Let's go, man. Now we can see if we can break it. We wanted this last break. Now $3 in the money now on Coreweave. Now $4 in the money now on Coreweave. Now we're in the money on the TQs. A beautiful trade here. Let's go. $4 right now. Bye-bye Coreweave. Let's see how low we can get on CRWV right now. We're getting excited over on this side. 148 might be a little dip by opportunity right there. 147.50. Let's put that in right now. 147.60 there on CRWV. Let's see if it can continue to print a little bit lower. That's really too bad because we did have a decent amount of shares there. But you could see that it does, once it opens up, which is why you got to take some profits. So right there, that bottom right now of 148.50. Look at this name just get right back. Okay, well now, I'm pretty sure now there's buyers in Coreweave. So,
what? That stock is ridiculous.
Yeah, like, but. We went over there and traded Coreweave, fine. We'll be red on it, but look at where the bread and butter is right now, man. The TQs continue to make those moves down. So good little level there. We get that 70 that we talked about. We get another one right there at 78, right down there into VWAP. So there goes the Nasdaq to the downside. We still have that number coming out. Let's see how bad that is coming out at 10 a.m. So there it goes, man. We're going to figure out what's going on right now with the TQs, but nice downside there for the Nasdaq. Wow, Coreweave is just nuts. There to there, $4 the other way. So take some profits on the downside. We're out of half already of our position that we had there. So let's see if it can continue to bleed, but I don't know. Palantir's at 130, I know. That's on the sticky note, but I'm not sure about a long right now. Oh, there he is. Yeah, Palantir's way down. This is why we didn't take it at 130.
Is it at 128?
It's at 128.50, yeah. So Palantir, nice little move to the downside right now.
Well, I told you guys I'm willing to reverse this on Micron. If it does not hold above the high, here we go. Let me just zoom in on my 15-minute. So we took it when it broke back above the pre-market high. Yesterday's high is at 103. It just closed or just broke underneath the volume-weighted average price. So I want to look short into 103. Now, right now it's at 70s. I got a 60 price in here. I want to see if I can get a little tighter to this 103 prior high. Now, Micron has had program buying, and it has not looked weak at any point after the open in the last couple of days. So the fact that it's showing weakness here, let me show you in the 3-minute chart. To me, the fact that it could not buy back into the high is distinctly different from what we've seen the last couple of days. So I'm going to try to continue to short this one off the volume-weighted average price. Just pick some up in the mid-70s there. But I want more into the 103 area. Tesla's absolutely bleeding at this point, so you can stick. I think you can stick a fork in Tesla. Its stock is really, really dumping. So I'm going to try to work Micron underneath the volume-weighted average price. If there is no program buying on it, the stock to me is going to run into trouble very quickly. I did mention Palantir 128. It is falling like an absolute rock into this level. It's not ideal. It's not ideal when it's this heavy of a falling knife. So I'm going to need to see something pretty distinct here, like either a bottoming tail candle. There's no trend reversal break to happen with a candle like this because the trend line on Palantir is like it's way too steep. It would have to bounce like $2 to break the trend. So that's just not going to happen. I'll need to see some kind of bottoming tail candle to get into Palantir to the long side. That's dropping much faster than I would have anticipated. So Micron short because the program doesn't appear to be here today. And ideally, we can get something tighter to the 103 in the volume-weighted average price. And let's see if we can get those 102s. 102.30, the current low. Want to bid some out in front of that. And we'll go from there. Cannot believe how quickly that Coreweave moves sometimes.
Yeah, same. We're into Coreweave right now. We got a decent position, but we're going to get stopped out at 156.50 like we. Oh, that's still Palantir. Sorry, I was looking at that one. I have Coreweave on the other side. We just took the 50 period here. We're going to watch out, man. If we break 156.50, we're going to be out of this one, and that's Coreweave. So let's just wait to see. We're short at 154.75. So take $1 and change hit on this. Very, very comfortable. We do have about 1 unit as far as 1 unit is concerned for Coreweave for me. We have that, and again, just learning my lesson. We should have never. We just got excited there at this 153 level for some reason and thought that this might have been the top. Sort of when we saw that it had broke there. Maybe that was the out, but then we did have this move back down, which we were really excited about, but then we held the 150 again. So here it comes back in. Okay, here comes Coreweave, so now we can celebrate it a little bit. Nice little move to the downside again. I'm going to punch. I didn't get out as many shares there as I wanted to. There we go. We'll get some more out at 54. Now let's see what happens with Coreweave. We're bidding 153.25. Maybe there's a downside play here. I don't know, but we did lighten up just a little bit there. Let's lighten up a little bit more if we can get a 150. There it is. We got a 154 again. So here it comes now to the downside. Let's see what happens here with CRWV and see if we can make this one great again for the shorts anyways. I know that a lot of you are probably long, so we'll have to wait for that. We do have a number coming out in 4 minutes. Well, I don't know if they're long or not. But we have a number coming out soon, so we'll wait for that. 153.25. Yes, Neil. Here we go. Coreweave is back to green now, so let's see how low well, it has to break 153. It was green, and then now it's not. Let's see what winds up happening there. A good fill for us down there on CRWV. This time we were patient. We took a fill there at VWAP, which is right here. And then we took another fill at the 50-period moving average. Look, I'm getting excited because I think the potential for this is huge, but right now it's just doing what it's doing. We're still in the Nasdaq short right here with the TQQs, using them as our sort of vehicle right here. I'm bidding 70s. There it is. Now I'm bidding 60s, and then we'll bid maybe 50s. And let's see if we can get a little bit lower here on the TQQs. And then the only other name that I've been in today was Apple, and it's at 205 right now. So wow, good name. Good day there for Apple. As a shareholder, I like it, but as right now, the only stock that, well, we're still up on it. We're actually red on Coreweave. We're up on Apple, which is funny because there's the short, there's a stop out. But yeah, so far so good here today. PLTR is rebounding there. I see you're short Micron. You had looked at Palantir at that 128. That would have been a great level right there because it came in and then bounced like crazy.
I should have looked at a 1 minute.
Oh, okay.
I use a 3-minute chart. And on a 3-minute, there's no, I like the 3-minute for trend reversals, but if you use a 1-minute chart, I just pulled it up now. Like if you play the trend reversal, maybe you could have pegged that bottom, but whatever, I don't have it. And as I said, I use a 3-minute chart. for trend reversals, and on Palantir, that didn't give you any kind of an entry. So if you got the 128, congratulations. I'm only in Micron because I haven't traded Apple again, and I'll get to that in a second because it's distinctly different from everything else right now, at least from what I'm seeing. Micron was able to get this 102.33, little Larry Bird. Didn't get the refill tighter to 103 even, so our best price in is what we have, like the 68. And then looking for orders in the 70s and 80s in front of 103. If we get VWAP again, this is a pure reversal play. This is the first time I can show you the 3. And the reason why I liked it in either direction today was if it held the high in a break, I wanted to look for the trend. So I was initially long when it held VWAP, but the second it lost the volume weighted average price and on that 15-minute candle was underneath the prior high, it's like, nope. The buyers were not allowing that to happen yesterday. If they're allowing it to happen today, then there's no program buying and we're just short. We do have numbers coming through in just under 1 minute to go. And for those that are asking about Webull, I did get 20% in on Webull in my personal account today because it ticked down, moved it to 69. That's how I roll. I would have
50 now, yeah.
Well, I would have. I probably would have got the 42.
You'd have not. The low is 45.
No. Okay, so I wouldn't have got it if I didn't move it. But I'm into this one. I said I was going to stink bid this yesterday. I threw it in there at 10.69. So I'm in this one. I'll probably add to it.
I like Webull.
I'll probably add to it like in a quarter or like maybe in a few weeks or something like that. But let's go to Adair for the numbers.
Just 10 seconds here. ISM Services PMI. We're going to get some other ISM Services numbers as well, but not as closely watched. ISM Services PMI, 52 forecast, 51.6 previous. Lower than expected here, 49.9. So again, 52 was the forecast for ISM Services PMI. Print comes at 49.9. That's also below the previous of 51.6. ISM Services prices paid and services employment higher than expected, but ISM Services new orders lower than expected. And the market drops here. This is the Nasdaq pushing quite a bit lower here on that lower than expected ISM Services PMI print. CrowdStrike just trying to fight here with 460. They did have earnings in line revenue, EPS beat, and they announced here a $1 billion buyback program. Then we've got Dollar Tree continuing to drip a little bit lower here. This one beat on EPS and sales. They actually raised their fiscal 2025 EPS guidance as well. Their Q2 guide maybe a little bit more of an issue here. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adair. And just like that, the market goes back into almost red. Check that. The Nasdaq was red a second ago.
Let's go Nasdaq.
Trust me, it was red, but now 0.07 or something like that to the downside. But that number took us through the lows. I'm looking for 101.5 here on Micron, and I'm still going to short any available pop that we get back into the volume weighted average price. But Apple was so strong. Okay, it attempted, wow, Apple.
Come on, Coreweave.
Apple just broke trend for a split second. It looked like it was about to break the trend line, and I have to redraw that in a second. But right back above 205. It maybe not the right one. I think we got away with it today on Apple. I'm going to look back over somewhere else for another short. We got Micron on, and I'll look somewhere else because Apple looks so strong relative to the market.
Yeah, man. I mean, wow, what a difference a minute makes. Like Coreweave is now green for me. Still pending getting out, but looking for lowered lows right there. Look at that move, man. That's why we're hitting those sirens up when that came through, man. We got everything we wanted and more on that play right there. Look what just happened on the TQs, man. Boom goes the dynamite right there to the downside. Like that really making your boy smile today. So that was a good move there for us. We're going to start to get some more out because we are retracing back up, but these outs were great. We just sat there at the pre-market lows, well, not the lows, but where we had barcoded right there, got some good outs, man, 40s into the 30s. Here it comes bleeding again. Coreweave is an absolute destruction. Hopefully, we just got some more outs at 152 there. I'm bidding 151.11 for some reason, and we bounced off of 151.20s there. So hopefully, a more of a downside move would be nice. I'm going to take out one more piece, and then we'll let the TQs ride, right? Because why not right now? If the market's going to finally get to the downside. The only thing that's worrying me, there it is. The only thing that's worrying me here is all these wicks. Like, it just, every time it gets down, it gets bought up. And if no one's buying it up, then maybe we get to the downside, but we have to wait for that to happen. So right now, man, $3 in the money and green on Coreweave, TQQ's green there, and then green on Apple. So it's been good so far, and I think Neil's right, and I mean, we all are. That's anyone that stayed away from the short rate here. This is such a maturation of my trading. Like, I would have probably fought this short rate there again and then again. So right now, we'd be very, very patient and wait around for the trades that we want. And by the way, Alex, man, when are you coming into this stock? Palantir down 5%.
It's really bleeding.
And getting absolutely crushed.
I think they're selling because of that new ETF.
Well, as soon as you told me that this Dan Ives guy has come out now, and I like Dan Ives, shout out to, I was actually speaking with him just a couple days ago, believe it or not. It wasn't directly with him, but on the space there that I was on. It was I got invited to a Twitter X space with Danny Ives, Dan Niles, Guy Adami, all this. So we were doing that last week during lunchtime, and that was a lot of fun. So it was great to meet those guys. I didn't know that this Dan Ives thing was coming out, but right now, Palantir to the downside. But look what's happening right now. What's up, Danny Ives? Maybe you got something to say about Coreweave, because right there, Neil, it's $4 in the money. We called this short. We like it. We're waiting for, we got the 150 fill. We got the 150 fill. Okay, I was like, we're waiting for 150s. We get that as well. So, yeah, let's go to see if
we can't trade.
Yeah, the best dressed man on Wall Street. Yeah, that's right. I was saying that I love the way he was talking there. Just that sort of that drawl there was great. But anyways, all right. So here goes 73, 36, 35, 34, and going down even more. That space I was on was with the lead lag report. If you guys know anything about that report, that's who invited me and who sponsored that as well. And then I was on talking with the guy, the CEO and founder, Neil, of Granite Shares, which does all like the NVDLs, the TSLLs. I don't want to keep saying them because I don't even know if he does TSLL, but so that was a lot of fun. You know, networking is kind of what it is. And I made sure to tell everybody that was there to watch Trader TV live. So hopefully if anybody was on that space, shout out to you guys and shout out to the trading that's been happening here today, because this Nasdaq right now is, what's up, Ozan? We're just really, really rocking right here. So nice pullback in for the NQs, man. We wrote down 70. I mean, I'm sorry, Piper, you weren't able to find the sticky note there today. I had my wife, which is, what's up, Marissa? She was double checking for me. It looks like it's fine. There it is right there, the Apple short. Where's the fail button? That did not work, but we were in it and we tried it. We tried it at 204. We never got 203s, of course. But then there's the there's the TQQs right there. So that's a siren trade at 74. The Palantir long, it came in. We were already short, so we didn't take it. That's a fail on that one as well. Circle, I wanted to look at that for today, but it's tomorrow, so should be good there tomorrow. And then Wells Fargo, we want to look at that as well. So my biggest trade today is going to be the futures by far, but we can wait to see if Coreweave wants to do anything. Palantir trying to battle back 127.
Yeah, Palantir's trying to battle. Actually, I'm looking at Micron might break its little bit of a downward trend that we have here. So it doesn't give you all the way into the pre-market low, but now you've got, this is at the point of the day. You're past 10 o'clock. You can connect the dots. It's got a pretty distinct on a 3-minute downward trend going into this low of the day. I'm going to hold it into 101.5. Only had 2 trades today, and it's been Apple and Micron, because Tesla, wow, we're going to go to Adara. Tesla just broke 330.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is why things are dropping, but it came out right as we got this other push to the downside, so I want to mention it. In case you guys don't know, this big, beautiful bill, this tax bill that Donald Trump, president of the U.S., is really trying to vouch for here, has been met with some concern, most notably yesterday from Elon Musk. The reason I bring this up now is because we just have the Congressional Budget Office speaking out about this bill. So the Congressional Budget Office, they cannot provide any formal recommendations. All they do, they're just a federal agency within the legislative branch of the U.S., and they just provide info to the Congress, as the Congress, I guess, considers this bill. So with that in mind, the CBO is basically saying here that apparently this bill is going, or if it passes, it would add $2.4 trillion to the national debt. That's their estimate. So basically, this big, beautiful bill, some sirens are being waved about it potentially here. Back to you.
Yeah, the bleed is real. Like, look at HIMS. HIMS was screaming at the open. It's already given up the entirety of the move. So just what it didn't get to 60. So yeah, I was wrong about that. I thought
$7.
I thought the term was going to be at the 60 level, but you're now double bottoming here at 55. This feels like, yeah, what it did yesterday, it was a trend down after failing the breakout. This is a short the next available pop type play. I got to check to see if we actually even have locates on this. Yeah, we do. We got free locates on HIMS. That's good to go. Oh, we're going right back to Adair.
Sorry about that, guys. We have more news to process here. Fitch coming out here, the ratings agency, they're talking about tariff tensions. I pulled up Boeing here because they specifically mentioned the Commercial Aerospace Agency. Basically, what they're saying is that these tariff tensions could, quote, moderately affect commercial aerospace because supply chains are global and they're intertwined with one another. So due to the globality and the intertwining of these supply chains, we have Fitch Ratings sounding some alarms here about the Commercial Aerospace Agency, or world. Back to you.
Guys, we're now $10 in the money on Coreweave right now. Like, okay, this, again, okay, so forget about the fact that we're $1.50 in the money on the Nasdaq right now. We're making a lot more money right now on Coreweave, like X's right now, Neil. Big time trading over here on Coreweave. Great trade by you for Micron, but here it is right now, man. Neil's $1 in the money. We've got 11 over here. It's Coreweave, it's downside, and it is fantastic. So let's go, man. If anybody's short Tesla, you got that one on. This has been an absolutely monster day right there. Oh boy, there's $10 plus. Now, let's see if Coreweave can break through 145. Oh my, 144, Neil. $11 in the money now on Coreweave. Someone just bought that up a little bit there, though. We just got a 144 fill down there on CRWV. So there it is. Obi, I don't know if you've got the short or long, my guy. He was talking about it. I liked it. There it is. It's Coreweave. It's fantastic, man. Who next is what we say around here. Nice move there for Coreweave. I'm going to bid some more at 146. Let's go. We've still got on like 20 to 25% of this. So there it goes, man. Thank you so much for that. Thank you to Hal. Thank you to everybody, man. I don't know if we have the Midas touch or not, but we're here, man, every single day doing these things. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Good out there on the TQs as well. We're just having a good time, man. So either way, Neil's in this Micron trade, and we just nailed that Coreweave. So couldn't be more pleased with the performance here today.
Yeah, I can't be more pleased. So far, it's looking so good, but that was a heavy, heavy bounce in the futures now, getting back up to almost the volume-weighted average price in one shot. Look, I didn't take Palantir at 128, falling like an absolute rock. At 125, however, this looks like it already just made a bit of a bottoming tail candle in back through 126. So 125.5, the new current low, that looks like a bit of a capitulatory bottom. Nvidia is already back up $1 from its lows. I want to see if I can snag in a Palantir here. It's starting to go a little, don't go meme crazy yet. I want to pick something up in front of 126. I don't know if you can get all the way to VWAP because it feels like a short the pops kind of day. And if it's because of that new IPO, or it's not an IPO, that new ETF, that thing is ridiculously illiquid. I went over to the IVES ETF.
Oh, it popped open.
Yeah, it's open. It's actually blocked for us, but there's no liquidity anyways. You wouldn't want to trade it. But a little bit of a bounce play happening. I don't want to chase it too far. Look at Nvidia. You've got to be kidding me, this stock. Nvidia just bounced $1.50. I'm not chasing Palantir too far. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to do that. I'm still trying to get picked up here. Now, yeah, it's at 27 now. Try to get it back up through 126, but I'm not chasing it $1 on what has been such a obviously red day. And then remember, everybody, Apple, like, that's why you got to get out sometimes. It just went through 206. Apple's on an absolute tear. It just broke the 50-period moving average and continues to go higher. This is a rip-your-face-off rally in Apple, and it's not even the strongest. Like, Meta's back up 2 points here, and that's headed back in toward the highs. So you've got distinctly different modes of the market. I'm reshorting Micron on VWAP because as far as I'm concerned, that's holding the trend back into the downside. So I can respect that. The program buying was gone on this, so I think it's going to be a down day for that stock. Crazy, crazy bounce you just had, but it's the Mag 7 doing it, man. And absolutely led by Apple and Meta. Microsoft, too.
All right. All right, so could have some bullish action coming through now off that sort of wipeout bottom there. We did get some, we can get into some, Weeble, good one there, Fabian. 21,670 there on the futures. Why was that so? Yeah, so, I mean, look, we got out when it wicked down into here. I mean, we're always looking. This is what I'm trying to say, like, I know. Thank you to Hal and thank you to everybody in the chat there for your kind words, right? I mean, picking this and doing this live in front of everybody every single day with putting on risk and things like that and sort of sticking our neck out on some of these trades. It is stressful, but you know, again, that's why everyone's doing things differently around here, right? I mean, I get excited and stressed out because some of these plays could either make or break, all of them could make or break me on a day, right? And so it's really nice to see when they do work out, but you know, sometimes they don't, and we've just been having a real good run lately. So thank you to everybody for continuously watching the show here. And you know, thanks to Dara for all her hard work. Thank you to Joe and Fabian and Sharif and Neil and everybody, man, Andre, everybody that's around, because that's what makes this show go, right? It's not just these trades, it's everything. It's whether or not we have winners on or not, it's the entertaining, it's the talking with you guys, and it's what's going on, right? So I think I found my groove here, and I'm glad that you guys are still with us. Let's go find someone, talk to someone who's definitely found their spot. It's Adara over at the desk.
Thank you for that, Sean. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of geopolitical things happening right now. So, I mean, we have, I guess, comments from Vladimir Putin, but we're going to get into the more market-related things here. Specifically, both Prime Minister Carney of Canada and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum chiming in here on these tariffs right now. Mexico, according to Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, Mexico is going to be introducing measures next week following the U.S. steel and aluminum tariff increases. These measures apparently will only be put into place. So only have these, I guess, reciprocal measures if there is no agreement and will not be eye for eye. Then we have Prime Minister Carney coming in just saying flat out, U.S. steel and aluminum tariffs are illegal. So in case you missed it, as of, I guess, effective this morning at 12:01 a.m., I believe the announcement said, we do have steel tariffs here. This is CLF. You can look at X as well. So steel and aluminum tariffs here going from 25% to 50% as of right now. I believe the UK is exempt from that, but keep an eye here. Lots of comments coming through from international leaders about these steel tariffs. We also have now more things coming through here from Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick saying that the 232 probes, I guess some of these probes they had into the industries, are apparently reviving manufacturing in the U.S. So for now, though, we're going to move on to this ad. We're going to take a moment to thank our friends at Easy Trading Computers. Traders, are you ready to fully optimize the computer you use for trading every day? Well, Easy Trading Computers and Trader TV have teamed up to bring you an exclusive sale on the world's most powerful AI-ready computers for trading. This limited-time desktop and laptop sale includes exclusive performance upgrades, bonus gear, and 0% financing, and it's only for Trader TV viewers. So scan that QR code, enter your email, and unlock access before it's gone. This exclusive sale is ending June 12th at 5 p.m. Eastern, so scan that QR or click the link in the description box. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Adara. Another mover here. You gotta believe it. Mullen, of all things in this market, is up 73%, halted to the upside for the third time here today. For those watching it, the theoretical auction price, $9.97. It's indicating an open even higher than it is right now. So super strong mover. I just paid for look, I don't believe it. I never do when Mullen does this move. This is the daily chart of Mullen. So anyone can take out of this what you will. What I usually take out of this is what the stock does is it reverse splits and tanks and reverse splits and tanks. Every now and then it can break out a high, and then even when it does that, it tanks. So I just paid for locates because $11, it looks like a resistance level. Any topping tail candles, and I'll look for the short on, well, I was about to say our good friend Mullen, but it's no friend of mine. So I'm not going to pretend. The stock is one of the worst stocks in the history of the stock market. Reddit is absolutely blowing it out to the upside. That's not where my focus wants to be right now, but I'm going to keep this one on the relative strength side of things. I think obviously downgrades don't necessarily matter at the end of the day. Sometimes it can just be an excuse to buy, which is what it looks like on Reddit. We are back in a VWAP on, I almost said Mullen, but Micron. On Micron, and I want to get that reload. Once this bar closes underneath the 50, well, this 3-minute closes underneath VWAP, then I'm reloading this into the short side as long as we get this close on the 3 underneath the volume-weighted average price. Just believe too much in the first time that we don't have this program buying going on. I want to stay with the reversal underneath the volume-weighted average price. Long over, short under. And Scotty H likes Peloton. That's going to. Get it? Is it really? It's not mullening, but it's it's to the upside for sure. Mullen, as I said, $11 would be the level that I look at. It's only at $9 right now. We'll wait to see what happens after it unhalts.
Boo Mullen. Okay, so
Well, I mean, yay for anyone that might.
Yeah. Oh, no. I mean, yeah, we've talked about
I just hate the
stock price there as an investment. All right, Palantir, man. I mean, you made all-time highs yesterday, down 5% there today, and continuing going shorter. Wow. Okay, this just popped in. What's up with Big Bear AI right now? Up 3% or so, 2.5%. Big Bear AI off the bottom of 376. Let's see if we can get that again. Buy something down here in case we do get some sort of a pop. But Big Bear AI, I don't know. I'm in this name. You guys know just north of $4. It was like 420, I think. 420, 421 or so was our average price. We bought pretty much every dollar on the way down, and then we just bought some more. I think it was last week or whatever, gave us that better average price because I think we were stuck 450. And then last week we just noticed it was right in and around here, man, 360, 350, something like that, where we were able to get some more in there. And then it popped up, and we were in the money, and it was like, yay, Big Bear AI, and then now it's all the way back in. So just trying to be patient with that one, to be honest with you. And if we can get something, then great on that front. As far as Coreweave is concerned, we're bouncing. I'm going to take something out here. If I can maybe get something like around 30s, we'll take it. Thing is, you kind of got to hide your orders. You don't have to hide them, but look at all the ones that are on here. There's so much dark pool action going through here that you just sort of hope that when it swipes through, like, see, we're not getting picked up there. You could cross in, and maybe I should just do that. There we go. Well, there we go. We get to fill at 30 anyways. So there it comes in. We were sitting there at 30. We just grabbed it. But what I was going to say is, this doesn't mean that it's a 20-cent spread. It does mean that for the Nasdaq and for 100 shares, but you could definitely trade in between and get prices. So here we go, back into the downside now. Still $8 in the money off Coreweave. And I had tweeted it out. We had tried it a bunch of times in here. And we kept getting stopped out until eventually we had it. And then it came right back up into levels that, you know, like I said, I don't have any CMT or anything. I don't think that's even that important to read these levels. So right into there, you'll see a nice downside play right here for Coreweave. So there it goes, man. A nice move to the downside for that one. And then I think the Nasdaq is probably, we just put a bid there at 40 because we had seen some bottoms there. But I'm in like, I've already traded thousands of shares of the TQQs, and I have like less than 100 shares left. So, you know, just kind of waiting for this to see if we can get something else going. It's more this trade, and we just got another piece out. So I'm still holding, this is hundreds of shares, not thousands on Coreweave, but I'm still holding under 50 shares of Coreweave. So let's just wait to see what winds up happening here on this one. CRWV, very light on this position for sure. So, all right, let's see if it goes lower. We just got out of more at 148. I'd say we have about 25%. I have to see how many shares we had because we were averaging into this. I would say probably have between 20 to 25% left, if not a little bit under that. So we're going to wait to see what happens with Coreweave. Big Bear AI is trying to go as well. Was that another call, by the way? Oh, small cap recap. Okay, it's 10:20 already. Wow, time flies when you're having fun, or at least when you're trading, that's for sure. Let's go back over to Adara. We still got Micron on that side. We've still got these two over here. Spotify's at 700. What? I sold that a hell of a long time ago. That was a mistake. Oh, and before we go to Adara, because this is not a small cap, I just want to see what CrowdStrike is doing. Remember yesterday I was like 450 is probably a buy, but I wanted to give it 3 days. So there goes CrowdStrike. Huge move to the upside right now off of that 450 level. What a great level that was on your 50-period moving average on the daily. So we'll have to wait to see what happens with CRWD moving forward. Market's trying to bounce back higher, as is Coreweave. All right, yeah, those are the right names, Angelo. Palantir, Big Bear AI, and Google. Yeah, if I could only trade like 3 names, those would be something similar to what I'd be looking at, of course, with Palantir and Nvidia. Being added to that group, Nvidia instead of Big Bear AI. But okay, let's go back over to Adara with the recap of small caps.
IWM basically flat here. We had this nice push off the open, I guess, that we're seeing with a lot of, or I guess this would, yeah, this would be, yes. So we had this nice push off the open, trying to sort out these 15-minute candles here. Initially, then we push lower. We get this drop here, this reaction to a lower than expected ISM services PMI print at 10 a.m. Right now, kind of oscillating. So long story short, IWM not looking dissimilar from the S&P 500 or the Nasdaq. Lots of volatility and early strength that is yet to be, I guess, recovered or brought back to here when you see this IWM. Here's K-Wave Media, our first small cap of the day, KWM. This one, above its pre-market high, nice push for the company. And like a lot of small caps lately, Bitcoin or treasury-related catalyst. This is a day 2 catalyst. They announced this yesterday. But KWM here yesterday announcing a $500 million securities purchase agreement to advance their Bitcoin-focused treasury strategy. Then we have OPTT. I couldn't find any news on this one. 8% short float. It's rallied in the past. This is Ocean Power Technologies. Last but not least, MULN. To give us some of the details on this one, 6.28% short float as of right now. Hard rejection of that $10 level looks to be halted right now. But the catalyst for this one is yesterday morning. So nothing new today, but yesterday morning, they announced that they've relaunched their 5RS EV crossover. So relaunch news here for MULN. Back to you.
And it goes 200 miles per hour according to that.
Yeah.
Well, that's how quickly the stock went to the downside there. So I was looking for it to break and get toward $11. I just paid for the locates on the short. It opened up, promptly failed, and halted down instantly. So Mullen, when a stock is going halt to halt like this, it can't even stay open for more than like the minimum amount of time. I don't think that's one where I want to get involved until it starts consolidating or something like that. I did get a reload on Micron. It did the over-under at VWAP just now. And it looks like the money fills are under 103, and not the volume weighted average price. I'm going to look to get more short here into 103. And just one more for you before we go back over to my man Sean and take care of some business. I'd mentioned HIMS was looking like yesterday where it was just going to continue its move down after the failed breakout. This did not pop to VWAP at all. It actually just broke the low of the day. I don't like low of the day breaks at 10. I want to try and play it back into 55 if I can. Instead of punching yesterday's low break, which is 5 cents from now, I'm going to look for a pop back into 55 on HIMS. This feels like a potential all-day short like it was yesterday on HIMS.
All right, Trade the Pool. This is one of the most valuable parts of Trade the Pool. It's called Video On Demand Library, a free resource filled with real trading stories, strategy, deep dives, and practical insights to help you grow. Whether you're looking to improve your entries, manage risk better, or just stay motivated, this is where experience meets education. And to make sure nothing valuable slips through the cracks, there's the notes feature. See something worth remembering, click note, write it down, and it stays saved right inside the video. Head to tradethepool.com today to trade and to look at their VOD brand new system and start completely free. Make sure you do scan that QR code there today. And if you shorted, you know, maybe even 200 shares of Coreweave, today you may be funded already by Trade the Pool, because there's another move right back in. I'm going to hold this and see how low we can go today for CRWV. I mean, we do have some potentials, I think, anyways. 146 should be coming in again. We already have a 144 fill somehow, so we actually got that bottom, which was pretty good. I think we'll sit one more bid at 146, which I'm not there now. I should put it there. And then we'll wait to see what happens next, man. I mean, this 200 period on the 5-minute is not out of the question down there at 137. So let's wait to see. I'll put one more bid at 146 just in case. Not just in case anything, but I'm actually going to use ARCA. 146, I don't know, well, 15, 12, something like that. We'll put a bid down there and see if we do get that, but so far so good on that play, and it's Adara with another one.
Yeah, just be aware here, we got some comments coming from Howard Lutnick, and in light of the previous comments we had from President Sheinbaum of Mexico and Prime Minister Carney of Canada, I want to comment on some, I guess, aspects of these steel tariffs. So, in case you missed it, 50% steel tariffs now as of last night. But we actually have Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick apparently responding to questions about Canada tariffs. He's saying that the USMCA goods, or goods that fall under this US-Mexico-Canada Trading Act, he says that these have no tariff. So I looked into this, and to an extent that is true. So basically the rule is that any goods that are USMCA compliant are generally exempt from steel tariffs. However, these exemptions do not apply to Canadian steel and aluminum imports that do not fall under the USMCA rules of origin. So basically the long story short is it looks like there will be a lot of exemptions here for Canadian steel, regardless of these tariffs. However, not everything is exempt as far as I can tell. If I find more details, I'll let you guys know. But seeing these comments come through, I wanted to shed a little bit of light. Back to you.
Thanks, Adara. I just went over to look at CLF and trading pretty decently down on that news. I thought there might be a chance to what's wrong with my X chart? Okay. X chart not really working for some.
United States deal?
Yeah, that's not a daily chart. It's a 3-minute. That's fine.
Oh, well.
No, that's a daily chart. Now, I was looking over because, just a quick note, X is being bought at 55 cash. If it pops into 54, I think it's a short. So I was looking to see if there was a fade on this thing, which I might get some orders out on. But Micron, we'll give it back on Micron. I was willing to go red with this bad boy here today. And our reload is going to take us, well, we had a long that didn't work. So we're 1 for 3 on Micron. But that just broke back above 103. Like, this stock is, it seems like it's just on one. Program buying, whatever you want to call it. It did get down to that 102, but now you're breaking right back above that pre-market low or pre-market top, and it looks like it's going to make another challenge. It needs to close the 15-minute above here for me to like the long back again. I only want to reverse when I see something distinct on a 15-minute, not the 3-minute with this particular stock, but super strong move there in Micron. But if you do see U.S. Steel pop in, maybe it's working now. No. Yeah, I'll just show this stock on a 15-minute chart. If you see it pop in, it's just because it's been obviously, there's going to be an obvious range on this, and 54 has been the top very, very distinctly. So I'm seeing it claw its way to the upside, and you're only trying to take 10, 15, 20 cents on this stock at most, just to give you an idea.
Oh, Bank of Canada press conference happening in 1 minute as Bank of Canada leaves rates unchanged there. I think. For now. Actually, I should double check that. I think it was. Okay, correct. Oh, I don't want to say the wrong thing there. Okay, looks like now maybe one. Let's put another bid here. We waited for 146. Looks like that's not going to come through, so we'll take a 148 and change if it does happen. Remember, I still am okay stopping out here at 156 because we only have, I checked, we have 15% left on this trade, so it's pretty light overall. Yeah, good hold there on Micron. I mean, sometimes that stuff will go through, but Micron, obviously a very strong stock, so probably a good decision. NQs here, 2175 or so. On the Nasdaq. Let's check out Robinhood. I mean, I'm always trying to find names that could have some juice to them. I do want to go back to Palantir in a minute as well. Robinhood today, nothing really. Pretty flat. It did have that huge move as it was rumored, not rumored, but discussed here. They were actually got hit when the last S&P was announced. So we'll see if Robinhood does get that ad at some point. That would be pretty awesome for them and for their shareholders, as Robinhood now higher price for the first time in its history than PayPal right there. So PayPal $72, Robinhood $74. But PayPal, a little bit of a, actually, look at that. They're now only 10 cents away. They're almost the same. Robinhood and PayPal, almost the same price. I have no idea why I'm relating that there. But all right, so we do have US EEI coming out right now. So we can check out light sweet crude, which is CL. Let's just go to USO quickly to see what's going on because I'm not actually sure of the contract that we're on. So there it is, man. Oil inventories comes out a build of 5.29 million barrels versus 1.5. So that should send the price of oil down right there. So there it is. Nice move to the downside right there for USO, United States Oil, because that's a pretty big draw, man. 5.2 million barrels versus 1.5. So almost 3x the expectation there on the build. So less. And that would make sense. I mean, if there's less production there, less factories pumping out those goods, we'll have to wait to see what that means. But XLE and oil taking a little bit of a dive here. So not too much coming in. So, all right, so we'll figure it all out. But that's what we're doing right now. Mara, ARM. I was trying to look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still at 104.7 right here. Maybe if I move that up, you can see it a little bit better. So 104.7 right now for Bitcoin. And we haven't even when you weren't here, we didn't even really look at IBIT. We didn't really. We always look at it, but we didn't trade it.
It doesn't move the way it was
heavily
before.
1.5% there. Yeah, I'd still like to see this breaking through 60. I think this 60 marker right here on IBIT would be sort of what we want to wait for there. We spent a couple of days above it. So if we can sort of get this garbage out of here and then get back to the upside there for IBIT, I think I like that. It's 10:30 already. So we are, crypto is, we did the crypto minute, didn't we? No, not yet. I was going to say, I don't think so. We're going to be waiting for that. Here comes Coreweave right back up to the upside. So look, we're still going to be, we cannot go red on Coreweave today, but we've definitely held a little bit back here. thankfully, like all these outs down here at 146, I already showed you the chart about where we like that, and then we got that 144, but here comes Coreweave right back up. Let's try it again around 155, and watch out for 156 and change, but here comes Coreweave right back there up to the upside. So you're an X now. Do you want to, I mean, we're about to go to Adara, but what's going on with that?
No, I'm just shorting, like I said, I'm shorting into the highs. Oh, it's working now. There you go. I wanted to show my 3-minute chart a little bit better. We'll go to Darren in a quick second. It's just a better look. I'm shorting this into prior highs and adding into the 54 level. Just it's range bound, right? Like you got a bottom that's distinct at 53.3, 53.4. So I want to play shorts into there, take some out in front of VWAP, and then hold for the low of the day if we can get it. One last thing before we go to Adara, just on Micron. I don't want to be done with it just yet. It just closed on the 3-minute above the volume weighted average price, but that's not where I'm looking. I'm eyeballing the 15 period here, 15-minute, and as long as this closes above, I got to be looking for the long again. So that was my rule. I'll be in either direction of the stock and see if the program in either direction starts to set up. Let's go to Adara, and we'll come back and see if these reloads in the shorts are going to work.
Yeah.
Here's the Bitcoin chart, and I want to talk about this. We've talked about this beautiful uptrend starting at the end of April. We're starting to break out of. We're continuing, I would say, to see these lower highs and lower lows form on the daily chart after making this all-time high around 1112. So we make, or 112,000, sorry. So we make this lower high here, 110.7. Now, the most recent lower high made yesterday just below 107,000. To see this downtrend continue, we'd have to see a break below this 103,000 level. Right now, we're trading around just shy of 105,000. So right now, it looks like BTC could hold strong, but we are clearly at a bit of a decision point here for Bitcoin. We're still above the 100,000, holding that quite steadily. So let's see that continues. We have Bitcoin red on the day, Ethereum red about 0.5%, XRP up about 0.25%. Solana, Dogecoin, probably the biggest moves here, down 3% and 2.3% respectively. But a lot of these other crypto names either slightly red or slightly green. Nothing super exciting there, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, nothing exciting. By the way, there were some crypto names that were wild yesterday. I know we haven't been talking about them as much, but one of them in particular, Mullen, Mara. See, Mullen's on my brain now because of all those halts. Mara, I know Coinbase did it as well. Just trend the entire time. If Bitcoin's not doing anything, we're back at 104. It's baffling to me how a miner is going to be this strong. So keep an eye on this. If you start to see it squeeze through the highs and there's any kind of a pushback through the tops in the market in Bitcoin, this could be one to watch for sure. And as I mentioned, this is what I'm looking. Wow, Micron's still holding above that 103 and starting to look a little bit strong. It's feeling like we've made a bottoming pattern, but if you're looking for longs, I think the place to do it, like look for the stocks that were strong and see if they can hold up. Like right now, you're getting Apple testing the volume weighted average price on the 15-minute. So at this point, I want to see these higher time frames hold up a little bit more. As I said, Micron's been a focus for me. Tesla is another one that's been a focus. It can't even sniff the volume weighted average price here on Tesla. Like even these bounces have no juice in them here for Tesla. I feel like if it gets to VWAP, it's just going to be a whole world of trouble. But I'll tell you right now, if you are looking for the best opportunities to trade in this market, especially on an inside day, you want to see what's moving and you want to have the best tools available to show you what is there. And that's where EASL comes in. It's still 1 month free, everybody.
Ooh.
So you can try it out. Like I said, free. All the indicators you want. You can do back testing of any strategy that you have out there. You can link up to over 50 brokers so you can trade through the platform. They've got Fibonacci's. You better believe they got Fibonacci's, Sharif, as well. So they've got everything you want, though. Fibonacci's, of course, they're going to be there with e-signal.
No, they don't have Fibonacci, though. They don't have Fibonacci's.
But the key thing is, like I said,
It's been renamed, actually.
It's free. You can do tick replay on it. You've got the imbalance locator available to you. So you can trade smarter, again, not necessarily harder. Just keep things easy for yourself, everybody. Scan the QR code you see out in front of you. You know what? If you don't like it, I think you will, then no harm, no foul. I think you're going to find that eSignal is for advanced traders, beginning traders who have a passion for improving their strategies. And that's where you can find it. So good luck to eSignal. Scan the QR code you see out in front of you. We use it here. That's where we saw HIMS blowing up on the scanner.
Right.
That's another one. Yeah, well, you know what? Let me slap the fail on HIMS. I should have just punched. I said I wasn't going to punch the short. We'd look to play the pop. The punch of the short, it just went like another dollar. HIMS is absolutely flushing. And I don't think I'm going to get what I want on X here. I was trying to build into a position, but I got to bid something out in front of VWAP anyways, because that was going to be the first out. We're probably not going to get what I want here on the short because it just stopped going up the second I started getting in, unfortunately.
All right, we averaged in back to Coreweave again. I mean, it came up to 155. We got a bunch out there at 154. We actually got a little bit lower than that as well. So let's wait to see what happens here now as we're breaking back through 155. This is where we took the short. So we just took the short right here at 155. But look at the spread, right? I mean, it's quite interesting. One, see, like it was just at 155.50. Now it's back to 154.80. So, you know, this is making me a little nervous of this trade right here because feels like it is trying to go one way and not the right way for me here. As we bounced off nicely off of, again, we talked about, bless you, off of some relative support right here into yesterday's close, 146 to 148. And now you're back up here into the 50 period. So we're going to try it again, giving it to this high of 156. So if we break 150, I'm bidding also 154 flats again here. So if we, can we get that? Like as if that 10 just held? No. Oh, man, we are just underneath that 10 there to get some more out. Whatever, man. I mean, this is giving me some kind of ways. So we'll have to just, maybe I'll just stop looking at it, and that way we don't have to worry about it. So let's find something else. All right, we already looked at Robinhood. Yeah, name, oh, there we go. Did we get that? Where am I bidding here? 154.06. Oh, that was 155.06, my bad.
Because you're not using ARCA.
Yeah, there I'm using Nasdaq. Yeah, you're right. But we're gonna get stopped out of this. 150. So we just missed a 154 fill there. But here it goes. If we break this, we're out. And then Coreweave won't be that magical stock that we thought it could have been today because it does look like it wants to start running to the tops again. So there goes Coreweave. Fine, man. We had some fun with it while it lasted. Looks like we will get stopped out of this name breaking through one. There it is. Oops. Wow, I thought it just broke and it went $1 the other way. So 156.50 there for Coreweave, man. It would be nice if we got a nice little move down. Spread being 40, 50 cents is not good, man. We're going to have some slippage there. Shout out to Easy Trading. Once we wind up, Easy Trading Computers, once we wind up breaking that 156.50, it's probably going to run like crazy. So be careful. Here's a nice little push back in though, finally. So yeah, let's see if we can take advantage. I'm actually going to take... Okay, here it comes. I might take a piece out here in the 50s if we can get it. Of course, that's me holding 55s again. Why did I even do that? I don't know. We're back to in the money now again. This Coreweave is too much. I cannot look at. There's me at 55. Are you kidding me right now? It's stopping on my bid. All right, let's just pull it and then see if it goes, man. And then hope that sucks. We just tried to get, you saw me try to get it out, man. I was right there trying to bid that out and did not fill. So, all right, that was 154.55. It did not give it to us. And now it's running the top again. This name is just like, forget about it, man. You have to hope that it runs you over and that you catch it with momentum. So we're going to be out of this at 156.50 and forget about it. Then we'll wait for it to actually do something. Right now it's upside. If any of you picked up some of those levels on the chart, that was great. So good job on the long. It looks like this short may get hit out a little bit right now. So watch out for that. Before we go, was that another call for Adara? Like,
not yet.
Okay, so before we go back, this is right here now near 76. So sector watch. Okay, good. This is because we want to talk about some sectors because right here, Wells Fargo goes to 79 and now all the way back into 76 again. This is the level that I was sort of looking at here for Wells. So it's a 200 period moving average. We'll look at this a little bit closer when we get back from Adara with our sector watch.
There's actually quite a few strong sectors here this morning. Technology services, Palantir pulling back here, down almost 4%. CrowdStrike red after earnings, though it's bounced quite nicely here off the lows. But Netflix, Google, Meta, all strong in this sector, as is IBM. Electronic technology, Apple and Broadcom doing nicely. Apple actually green here, despite a downgrade from Needham to a hold rating. Finance a little bit mixed. Health technology strong, led by a push here in Eli Lilly. Consumer services, CMG here, Chipotle particularly strong. Rest this relatively flat. Utilities, CEG here, Constellation Energy pushing lower. This one getting a drop after a downgrade, despite seemingly a positive catalyst with Meta yesterday. And consumer durables here, red. Tesla leading this group to the downside. GM following behind here. Tesla has had a little bit of negative sales data coming through globally right now that we're digesting, including numbers from China. Back to you.
I kind of knew those nuclear names.
There we go.
Was a bad reaction, and there should have been a short on those. Well, I was mostly talking about GE Verona, which I own myself, and it's not even down that much, so it's really not that bad. But that CEG and the downgrade, when you start selling off on positive news, that's when you should be relatively concerned. So I might trim some GE Vernova. That's not going to be a day trade, but what it no, it's actually Look, when Adara was just mentioning Constellation, I made the assumption that GE Vernova would be down decently. It's holding up well, but it's a stock that I've held because I own GE, and I basically got the spin-off, and I've never sold any of it, and I might consider taking some out. It just looks pretty strong, and not a bad time to do so. Micron just broke a trend on the 3-minute, closed underneath the bar. Prior bar high is 133.33. Not 3 repeating like on my thing. So that's where my stop is going to be, just above that. So we'll see what happens there. Tesla's finally going into the volume weighted average price. I don't know if you're going to want it when it gets there, but it'll be the first test we get of the day. So it'll be the first shot that I take. It might just come at 11 o'clock. So I'm back into Micron on a trend break. For everyone's trading this Mullen nonsense, it's still halt fest. Now 1240 is the indicated high. Like I said, until this thing can calm down and not be halting every couple of seconds or every minute or so when it reopens, I'm not going to touch it with a 10-foot pole. So we're sticking with Micron. HIMS was a mistake not to just short the breakdown of the low of the day. But we'll just wait for like I said, I'll wait for something to set up on this. The prior low is 54.5. So anything here into 55 would be a first look, and then into VWAP also would work. So, we got that X trade, and we're back into Micron. Still nothing doing for me on Tesla, but it's only a couple of dollars away now from testing VWAP for the first time. So we might get our first shot at Tesla any minute now. It's suddenly looking pretty decent, but remember, this isn't a random level in the mid-330s. On Tesla, if you pull out the 15-minute, of course, there's Randy.
Oh, shit.
What is going on? That's a crazy wick. If you pull it out here on the 15-minute, you'll find prior support at 333, both 2 days ago, and then going right back to the 23rd, like the last day I was here before going to Budapest. So right here, 333 is a good level.
What a guy. Apparently, I convinced Randy to get a Model 3.
Yeah? Oh, that's what they were saying.
How that even happened. But, all right, man, we're back into a new position right now. It's Palantir. So here we go, baby. Nice move to the downside right now for PL. He's going to have to switch parking spots with Brendo then. Right there, if that winds up happening. All right, so here we go, man. We shorted Palantir. Let's go. Here goes Palantir. Oh, boy, man, what we're touching right now on Palantir is that short. And there it goes, man. We just put this on 25 cents. Right there. This is what I'm talking about. Trade the names that are active, man. There's Palantir. Huge move right now for me on Palantir. Good job there. I actually took too many. You might have heard me say, whoops, I actually took too many shares there by accident. So right now, getting rewarded on that one. Here goes Palantir to the downside. So good move here. Let's go PLTR. Yeah, we're doing pretty good now on that. As we left Coreweave because we got stopped out on that last bit of Coreweave, right? Come on, right there at 156.50 breaks. Now we're back down into 155, but that's okay. It does go as high as 157.70 or so. So now down $2 from that high. What can we do? More than happy right now. PLTR, Neil, we're almost $1. We just put this one on right now. I don't know if Micron or X is moving, but this name right here, another banger right there for you on Palantir. We finally stepped in, and here it goes, man. Almost $1 immediately there on we just put this trade on. There it goes, a nice move to the downside for PLTR. Like I said, man, we're getting real comfortable now trading, and so obviously we've been comfortable for a minute, but there it goes. Nice move down there for Palantir. We're already out of half.
Yeah, great look on Palantir. X is moving, but I was joking with you, like you said sometimes your keystroke take too many shares. In this particular case, my initial entry was less than I was looking for. For the same reason. Sometimes And just for anyone out there trading, we have hotkeys to change the amount of default that we will take. And so you can hit Control 1, 5, and go by different increments, but sometimes you can change by the wrong increment. So that's what I did. That was on me. I tried to add to it, but you still got to trade the trade regardless. So I'm playing it at the highs. I said we get some out in front of VWAP. We hold it for VWAP. I'm still holding 2/3 of the position to get the low of the day. With the range bound trade, I'm not necessarily going long here, however, if it gets to the bottom end of the range, but I reserve, like I might go long if we get down to like 53.3, the current low at 53.4, I think you can go a little bit further than that. So, it'll be good, but it should have been much, much better for me on US steel. You just gotta be able to respect the move. On the other side, let me go back to Micron and show you, Micron broke down underneath 103, put an ad on the trend break. My stop hasn't moved. I don't know where my trend line keeps going. So there's your consolidation. We get it on the next candle. It then broke 103 for an ad and goes right back up to the top. My stop is right here at 103.3. So we're risking about 30 cents on Micron. Low of the day is at 102. There's plenty of room to go. But Micron's starting to show some signs of life here, everybody. So X good, Micron not. Apple obviously was good, but we haven't touched it since. And now all of a sudden Apple's underneath volume weighted average price. I'm not really doing much with Apple. I think got away with the short initially. I'd rather find something else that has a more distinct setup. And Mullen just opened back up.
Yeah, we did that. I mean, we found Yo, I didn't even realize you were there. Jesus. Oh, what's going on, Randy?
Show the chart on Mullen, guys.
I know.
He was just doing it, man. Randy's going to be buying it. Some Mullen.
Nobody is going to be buying this thing. No, they're not.
No, but it's not, the price isn't real. It's only one, like, I mean, here's a Mullen chart, split adjusted, okay? So let's just call up this from each.
Yeah, like keep it real. Like,
so
look at this
let's just
chart.
keep this real for a minute. So this is, let's go to a monthly chart on Mullen.
You don't want this stock.
So Mullen used to be $1.7 trillion. Right there.
That ain't even trillion,
I don't even know
what
how
is
many
that?
zeros.
Quadrillion?
No, but seriously,
Right?
what even is that number?
And it is just like, it's,
Come
yeah.
on, son.
So there's Mullen. So yeah. Welcome to the jungle, Mullen. Right there, as you are a $13 stock for now, but not for long. I can tell you that much, as it will be reverse split back in again and again and again until, for some reason, Randy, the market figures it all out. Yeah, so there it is, right to the downside. Oh, I got those caps, so they're coming today. Well, they're coming today. Yeah. So
Caps?
Yeah. I took off those arrow wheels there, the arrow covers. And so we're going to put the caps on there.
Oh, God, yeah.
No cap. Yeah, so down there, nicely down into the downside, 332 and change right now. Your kids don't talk all crazy like that, do they? Speak proper English? Your kids are older, so that's nice. At least my 13-year-old now speaks proper English, so that's good. Yeah, with I think it's either silver T in the middle or the white T, the main cap there. I was going to get a Green Bay one, actually. Anybody in Wisconsin, man, you want to send a Tesla Green Bay caps? That'd be pretty sweet.
Packers.
Sure. My license plate is Packer right
Bills.
now. Matches the green license plate, which now I can. Well, my birthday? It's coming up. Don't worry about it.
It's not that close.
Yeah, my 35th birthday is coming up, so make sure you guys do get.
That's an important one. That's a big one.
Get me all of that as well. 35.
Yeah, 35 is a big one.
Very, very big one. 35. Adara, from one 35-year-old to another. What's up, Adara?
Yeah, wind that back about a decade, but here we go. Here's the US dollar, and this still does not look particularly pleasant. We're below 100 right now, actually. We're trying to take out this most recent area of support around that 98.7s, currently around 98.75. But we still have yet to push below this, I guess, sort of pseudo double bottom in mid-late April here, that 98 level. Sorry, not 98,000. We're not talking Bitcoin. This 98 level here, let's see if the DXY takes it out. As of right now, though, this downtrend reversion that we've had since the start of the year is still very much intact, despite a brief attempt to reverse it in April. Let's see what happens from here. But DXY, certainly not looking particularly healthy right now. Back to you.
Yeah, look.
I tried to figure out what the high was on ChatGPT.
Neil, myself, and Sharif could be Adara's parents. So
yeah, I mean, come on.
let's. No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we could be her parents, you know. So that's how that works out. That's how that folds around here. We're glad to have a Daryl with us, of course. Yeah, smooth transitions. That's all that I do around here. All right, so yeah, Mullen, Rip City. I'm not short Mullen. You're still in that X.
I will be.
Yeah. I want to look at.
I'll take it. Look, at some point, I don't mind taking a shot at Mullen. It just, I want to see something that's tradable. It's going to, whether it's today, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's, well, I mean, Friday next week, it's going to come down. We all know this about Mullen. But I think shorting the front end of it doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense. I need to see something a little bit more distinct. I will reload range on X, the range on X, as that starts to come back into the top. Try to get into what we were meaning to get into before, into the high at 53.8. If it breaks that high, I'll probably jump out of 80-90% and then try to get more in front of 54, which is the other top in. Picky eater. Oh, that's nice of you to say. Neil is that old? Well, I mean, I don't know what that old means. You're as young as you feel, everybody. That's all I will say. And on that note, I forgot to mention this. Well, kids are just different when it comes to healing. We had baseball last night, and my daughter had the biggest hit she's ever had, and I was kind of proud for that. By the way, Micron just broke out, so we're out of Micron now. And then before her next at-bat, she was playing catcher, and in between plays, the batter was going for a practice swing instructed by her coach and did not check to see that Aaron was retrieving a ball. Took a swing, and full swing, she took it on her throwing.
Yeah.
Unprotected.
Probably not even hurt, right?
Well, no, she was hurt.
Oh, she was?
She was hurt. We took her out of the game to put another catcher in, and she's on the bench. She gets ice on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? She wanted to continue to watch her team. They come up for the next at-bat. I'm coaching first base, and she's with my wife. All of a sudden, she puts her helmet on, and I'm
exactly.
I look, she's going back in the game to hit.
Oh, yeah.
Which I was super proud of, because at first I was like, she could have broken her hand. She got really lucky, but
yeah, I was gonna say, is it bruised up today?
We saw a picture, it's only a little bit bruised, so I think she got really lucky. But the one thing that I learned from that as a coach, it was on me, and we're talking about this as coaches. Whenever you have that young of an age, you almost want a coach on either team to always be behind the catcher, because the kids don't know not to just take random practice swings and things like that. So even in the other team, it's just hey, make sure there's no one around you when you swing and take a practice swing. We all know that playing ball, but that could have been another kid picking up a bat.
Gets hit in the head.
That's not wearing equipment, and gets hit in the head. So I was really proud of her to go back in the game, because as long as you give it your go and don't quit, I'm down for that. So,
yeah, man, that's good. Yeah, glad that she did that for sure, and hope that her hand is much better. I'm gonna try. We only have 5 minutes left right here. I wrote down WFC here on the note today that I want to try 76. So I'm here with it. We're gonna try it. We're gonna give it a go here at $76. I'm only long right here at 18 small. I'm waiting. My bigger orders right there at 03s. So I want to see it come back in. We actually already filled that, and I missed it. I wasn't, we were throwing over there back and forth and back and forth. So yeah, we'll wait to see what's going on right there with WFC. But I'm long right now, and I want to see if we can support that 76 area again on their notice that they had their asset cap lifted. So now they can sort of go free reign right now and invest. That's probably not true. I don't know exactly what that means. All right, so Google right there, falling back to 166. Oh, I'm not even on Google. I was looking at another chart. All right, so Google, I wanted to look at it because it's been moving really well recently. We had that move of 175, then some nice downside pushes. Now we're underneath 170, and then we got that perplexity sort of news there as well. That came in with Apple and Google and all that kind of stuff, and maybe not using Gemini as much as they thought, or I don't know. Today it's not really moving at all. I wanted to look at it because I noticed that it was up against the market right there, so looking for some longs. But this 200 period I think is worth it at 166.80s or so. But down into here, into these pre-market levels where we've already traded today, I think is a great level for Google. So that could be something to look at if we do drop in. Why not pick up something that's been, I don't want to say it's been strong, but it has been pretty strong. We've had a negative day yesterday, but Google into here, 166.50 or so, seems to me like it's a reasonable area. All right, so there goes Wells Fargo. Finally starting to go back there to the upside. So we're in the money, an amazing 5 cents. We'll wait for that to go. Palantir's all the way back, but we still have a third. We have a third of this. I'm waiting for 128 to break. So I'm actually, I was at 20, so I'm at 28s right now. Let's take something here at 20s. We just add our offer there and we don't get filled. Oh, did we get filled? No. So our offer is right there at 20. We still didn't get filled. Hopefully it will fill us, and then we'll get that short back in. So 128.20 there for Palantir. We'll see if we can get a little bit more on that. Let's just take it right here, right now anyways. We'll offer it at 15s and get it. So there we go. We average, or 14s. We average in, grab some more here on PLTR, and we'll just wait to see what's going on. You're into, no, you're not into.
I'm not into Neo, but shout out to everyone in the chat. We only have 2 minutes to go. Parabolic move there on NIO. See, if you had a topping tail candle like this on Mullen, that would be a short for me on Mullen. It just did it. I just canceled an order at 87 to try to get in here on NIO. Just to give you some work, $4 is a thing on this stock. There's a daily chart. Wow, I got to zoom in. Oh, we were zoomed out because of Mullen. $4 has been a prior support level. It just popped into 392. As long as it's underneath and close to 4, any kind of a reversal candle like this, I'd look for that short trade. But unless I can get it in the high 80s here. Like if you're stopping out at 91, VWAP's at 72. Like you really want 88 or 89 and not 85 from a risk to reward standpoint. Like on Neo, it actually matters. I still can't get, I'm not getting filled on US Steel here. Yeah, I just didn't get the reload on US Steel either. But if it busts you up, we'll get the low of the day. Maybe not the volume that I'd like to see on that bad boy. I just thought if Cliff was moving, there's enough volume that I can build into a good short, and it won't even let me into that bad boy. Tesla's still not doing a heck of a lot, but it is getting closer to VWAP, and we said if we get to the volume weighted average price, I'll look for a trend reversal. You've got a very... I mean, finally, this is the first upward trend that it's putting in right now on Tesla. So I can finally connect the dots and say, okay, we can get a trend breakdown here on Tesla. Down 3.5% and blame it on Elon, apparently. Blame it on some numbers out of China. Either way, it is one of the weakest stocks in the market, which is back to green again, believe it or not.
And if you're Milli Vanilli, you can blame it on the rain. But right now, let's see what's for lunch because Joe's getting excited over here, as many of us are as well. Today is Wednesday, June the 4th. So today we have Chipotle glazed chicken. Yeah, the food's always there pretty quickly. For me, whenever it's chicken, I don't really prefer the way. I don't know. I'm not excited about that. Let's see what's on top of the salad. Spiced potato wedges, charred Brussels sprouts with red peppers, and chef's choice salad. That's what's for lunch. Chipotle glazed chicken, spiced potato wedges, charred Brussels sprouts with red peppers.
One of the 3 vegetables I don't eat.
Yeah, well, Brussels sprouts, right?
broccoli, Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, anything. But then for some reason,
cauliflower.
like kale, which is very puzzling.
I love kale. It's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. Okay,
it's very weird.
Yeah, without any further ado, we're just before we go, just to recap, I'm going to get stopped out of this if we break through VWAP right here on Palantir. We've done pretty good with this short and just trying it again here, but look at the market. 5 or 6 straight candles to the upside on a 1-minute chart goes the Nasdaq. So we're going to be careful with that. We're not averaging into the Nasdaq either. We have a good trading all over the place today. There we go. There's a big move up for Palantir. So let's now wait to see what's going on here with Palantir. But nice move to the high side. We're going to wait to see as there it goes, blasted through. There's the stop out live. So there we go. We get stopped out as it takes out 128.60. There goes the market to the upside again. So yeah, man, so far so good, but we just got stopped out of that Palantir right at VWAP right now as the market's going for a jog. So thanks for watching today. It was a good day, man. We'll check back with Neil and I back at some sort of a time.
Mullen 1 trillion, let's go.
Mullen's at $1 trillion. No,
I'm joking.
No, it's not. So yeah, congratulations to anybody that was long Mullen or short Mullen from 1.8 billion. So that was a good trade there. Cover it at $14 if you're short at 1.8.
I would probably do that.
That would probably be a good move. So, all right, thank you, everybody. We got to get out of here. Let's go over to the midday show with Sharif and Joseph.
Go get them. It just broke again.
Boom! Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the midday